Nothing to lose. Now the lights gone dim, no more playing the fool. Simp hunters caught him, now they're back to school. Soy boy, what you gonna do when the simp hunters come and they're gonna for you? Soy boys, what you gonna do when the simp hunters come and they're gonna for you?
All simps are innocent until voted guilty by the chat.
Kneel and be amazed at the touch of the black man. I bring life.
Oh my god, bro! Oh my god,
take me home to the clan I belong. Rest of our road, Death Watch Mama, take me home, Mando Rose.
そして最後のタイムブレイカーキーはついに封印されました。なんと黒のディフェンダータイムサイダーが犯罪組織カイザシンジケットを完全に終わらせました。
Choices that you make, they bind. I stand and watch from distant silence as the wheels of fate unwind. No hell of mine will rise against you, but karma's path is set in stone. Every step you take will echo in a future you've outgrown. Justice waits, unseen, unbending. Time will bring its weight to bear. Your reckoning, it comes unending, but my hands remain in air. Justice never wavers, no soul escapes its grasp. Fate's cold hand will tighten and the wheel will turn at last. We make kind of choices, but time will write the end. Karma rises ruthless, no wrong it will defend. Justice never falters, it waits with sharpened breath. Fate's eyes always watching, just beyond our depth. We can shape our moments, but destiny will reign. Karma strikes with thunder to balance all the pain. Black shirts coming, stop running, running. Black shirts coming, stop running, running. Black shirts coming, stop running, running. Wide awake from the sleep, lessons of the past are repeat. Wide awake from the sleep, lessons of the past are repeat. Wide awake from the sleep, lessons of the past are repeat. We rising, no attack. They're trying to hold us down. Put your money on black. Money on black. Money on black.
That's right. If you're curious how to join the Black Shirt Army, just wear a black shirt. It's that simple. You don't even need to buy anything. Someday we'll give you the option of buying things, but until then, you don't need to. However, in the wild world of the internet, there are strange things that you may want to group up against. That's why we're talking about that. And here to help me decipher this layer cake of awful is the lovely Miss Nerdigans. Welcome aboard.
Hi, Black Shirt Army. This has been building up for, let's be real, well, years technically, but in the case of this remake, the past few months or so. For those of you that have been in the anime community, you know about obviously Ranma half, but something that the trans activists have been trying to do is trying to say that Ranma is a trans allegory, and they've been trying to rewrite history. By saying it's a trans allegory when it is not. And obviously, as you can see with this post here, the trans activists are surprisingly being extremely open with their agenda and saying that we're going to use this anime to crack a new generation of eggs. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it's basically an egg it's so gross, is basically what these activists considered a closeted trans person.
I'm not that. I did not know what that is. That's why I pointed to myself, because I am of the people that don't know. I am not an egg. Okay, just want to clarify.
Yeah.
I was like, whoops.
Basically, they're closeted trans people that they don't know that they're trans people. And what these people, they get off on doing this is they get off on cracking these eggs and making them trans people. And the people that are preyed upon are gender non-conforming people, so like tomboys or femboys. So if you are like, say, a guy that likes cute things, you're, to them, they think that you're just trans and you don't know it yet. It's really, really disgusting.
It's a good thing I only like hideous things.
Yeah, it's so gross. But look at this. They are like, these people just, like this person here, she said, this person's not one of them. But look at this.
The representative of the bisexual community approached the bench, Your Honor. I'd like to propose a joint task force to better handle this pressing issue in a more effective way. I guarantee you this person is either in their mid-20s or almost 30, okay? And in no way should be communicating like this.
That's how old these activists usually are. They're in their 20s or 30s. It is just so creepy. And trans people want to, not beat they want to beat the allegations of not being groomers. Like, this is the epitome of grooming.
What the hell is this? This and TV, I saw the TV glow, okay, is making 2024 the 9/11 of egg cracking. Neat.
I don't know.
So what am I looking at here? What is this anyway?
Well, these people are saying that, there's not enough online infrastructure to prepare for all the eggs that are about to be cracked because of Ranma half.
They're having like one of those circle jerks about their belief system. I see.
Yeah.
Are the quotes just as, yep, they're weird.
Well, there's one of them saying you should not be talking about it, which is good. At least there's some sane people here.
Yeah. Rule 1 about Groomer Club is don't talk about Groomer Club, right? I mean, I feel like, worked for Nick Fuentes in the Catboy Discord that he had. So,
well, you should. They're adults. They shouldn't be talking about people like this. It's so nasty. It really is. They shouldn't be grown people shouldn't be doing this. And the thing is,
okay, so Spencer would like us to explain what Ranma half is.
What Ranma half is,
who don't know.
If you might be living under a rock if you don't know what Ranma half is. So Ranma half is,
there might be a few people that don't know. Okay, just a few.
Ranma half is it's a classic series that is set in the 80s. by I gotta have the author's name in front of me or it'll drive me nuts. Hold on a second. It's by Rumiko Tamaki. There we go. And it's about a guy named Rama who him and his grandpa trained in the Cursed Springs and in China, and they fell into a spring that when they have fallen into cold water, they turn into a different thing. So in Rama's case, Rama turns into a girl because he fell into the spring. Jisekyo, that's the name of the place. He turns into a girl because he fell into the spring of the cursed girl. And in his father's case, he fell into the spring of the curse of the drowning panda, and so he turns into a panda, and they turn back into their original selves when hot water is thrown on them or warm water is thrown on them. And other characters in the series that come later on, that chased after them, they fall into different cursed springs as well, and it's pretty funny. These people, they don't care that it's a curse. They think that it's still a trans allegory, despite the fact that Rama hates being turned into a girl.
Well, and again, they don't look at it like that either. They're looking at it as man becomes girl, girl becomes man, transformation factor. They wouldn't, if they understood the premise, they wouldn't see it as that. What they're only seeing is the fact that a male character is becoming female, and shenanigans ensue with that they find cute, because the focus isn't being on that's still a man. The focus is on the shenanigans that Ranma gets into in the female form, and also the shenanigans of Panda Dad. So if they even remembered that part, I don't even know. Nerdigans, I don't even think the people that are doing this egg cracking fetish circle thing on Twitter we were looking at, I don't even think they're remembering that Ranma's father is a panda. I don't even think they remember that. I don't even, that's not even on their radar.
Well, they remember Hapasai, the pervert. They're like, that Hapasai better not be there in this remake. And everyone, at least in my circle, they're like, please, Hapasai, please save this anime. Filter out these creepy tourists. Get them out of here. Seriously.
It's just one of those things. They're politicizing it, and that's why they're rushing in to make a deal about the whole thing. We're seeing it happen across most of fandom outside of Hollywood. Finally, what a surprise!
If you go to the QRTs of the main Netflix anime post, the writer of the English dub, who is the wife of partner of Little Karibo from Team 4-Star, Marin, they said something that kind of raised a red flag.
There's going to be a lot of QRTs here, so you're going to have to help me. Who am I looking for?
You're looking for Marin Miller. Where is it? Marin M. Miller VO. Here, I'll post it. I'll give you the link. Hold on.
Sorry. I'm just gonna keep scrolling. Maybe we'll find it.
Here it is. Here's the link.
Get the link. Okay. Chat. Thank you.
Yeah. It's the second tweet that kind of threw me off, because they announced that they were doing the script, and then it was this here that really got me, that they were torn about announcing it because I'm kind of burned out on transphobic abuse, but fuck it, I deserve to be proud. And I was like, okay, you didn't really need to say that, but all right. But then it showed, the next tweet down, it showed that they were a consultant too, which was like, okay, that's a little bit interesting.
Were you blocked by this person as well, or is it just me?
I think you might have been blocked by that person. But this one, but this right there from Drunken Elf Mage was what really was like a huge what the hell moment. Is how's it feel knowing you're probably going to have a direct hand in cracking an untold amount of weebags, and that they are, unbelievably proud of it. That is disgusting.
It's really weird. It's really weird, and also to consider that these are children that they're talking about. They're not picturing a 40-year-old overweight construction worker that's always wanted to be a pretty princess. They're picturing some 14-year-old child, boy or girl, who is experiencing a bit of disconnect. Hey, I sometimes, like I gotta be honest with you. Like a lot of the time, they're just kind of let down. They can't find their place because there's no place for tomboys anymore. There's no place for any guy that has likes cute things like you were talking about. And that's where
Yeah.
they find themselves. So they just get stuffed into these gender things. And then the therapists tell the parents, "Hey, your kid's gonna sewer slide if you don't give them all kinds of drugs." Of course, the kid thinks it's great because it's giving them purpose and attention. And you got to remember too,
Yeah,
mom
it's
and
true.
dad are just as much in their phones as their kids are. So they get attention from their parents, they get attention from the doctors, and they become very special at school. And no one can bully them anymore because, sewer
Well, what
slides.
sucks what sucks about this whole thing though, especially now, is there are people that do actually have, gender dysmorphia. And because of all this, they get thrown to the side and into the shuffle and
Sure.
can't be taken seriously. And that really sucks for them.
And it's not trendy,
It's
people
not
don't find.
well, actual gender dysmorphia. Well, they try to make it trendy. It's kind of like with because this bothered me too with what Paris Hilton said about ADHD being a superpower. I have ADHD. It is not a superpower. It freaking sucks. They're trying to make ADHD trendy. It's not trend. It's not trendy. It sucks. It really does suck from someone who has it. So that's what I
Sure.
mean. That's what I mean by what this is doing. It's really actually hurting people that suffer from gender dysmorphia. And it's the same thing with these egg crackers here. What they're doing is they are really hurting people that are transgender that just want to be left alone and live their lives because now they're going to get attacked by people because of they're going to be grouped in with these people, if that makes sense.
Well, and also the other thing to remember about that is that these these people who are attracted to that could be suffering from another problem that will go undiagnosed because it's more trendy to be trans. And so there's so many pitfalls to this because we've corporatized sexuality, okay? No matter how you come down on it, if you don't like the gays, if you do like the gays, if you don't like the trans, if you do like the trans, what is undeniable about it is that the sexuality of humanity, every facet of it, dark or otherwise, what belongs behind a closed door or otherwise, has been corporatized. And that's what you're looking at. The whole reason why they're excited about this is because it's in a corporate setting. If they were sitting around their knitting circle making a quilt that said trans kids' rights, they're not going to be this jazzed up about it. It's because it's in the middle of a corporation. It's going to be stuffed down the throats of people that they are envisioning will be apoplectic about the concept. Meanwhile, most people, your normies, your SpongeBob, hi, how are you? They're gonna completely miss the trans allegory. They'll be like, ha! Every time Ranma gets hit by water, it turns into a girl. That's funny, and that's all they're gonna get out of it. They're not gonna be like, trans rights. Nope, they're not gonna get it.
It's mainly just the terminally online people. These people, the same people that are doing this, are like the same people that not just. And we'll get to. This is a great transition into the Chibi review stuff. It's not just Chibi reviews that gets attacked for this. All of us get attacked for it. This kind of thing because these terminally online people can't separate fiction from reality. And what happened with Chibi reviews, for those of you that don't know, he got doxxed over a clip of praising a clip of Dandadan. And it was the scene. And let me grab the link for the clip because I have it. I shared it with Spencer. It was over the scene where the Serpo aliens were about to use their reproductive tool to grab
That one.
Momo's womb and her banana because they're trying to repopulate their planet and all that. And
I remember the banana in biology class, don't you? That
yeah,
was the tricky one there. Always remembering where the banana goes on the skeleton. Mm.
yeah, but yeah, Chibi was praising it, and the clip went viral, and people were sending him death threats and all of that, and it's just wow. And he posted a video about praising the anime, and someone took it and changed the title of it to like top 10 sexual assaults in anime. The person deleted it after getting destroyed. But here is the clip that Chibi got attacked for. I think the QRT still have the death threats in there.
Oh, delightful.
Yeah.
I love it when the death threats are the ones that make it. So here we go.
But yeah, there's the clip.
I'm just gonna try and find a neat place to pause that is not that one. Yeah, that's good, creepy enough. We'll pause it there. I was just gonna mute it too, just in case there's some ooh-woo leaking through. And there you go. But,
well, one of the things that the people were saying, a lot of these people were saying, and a lot of them were burner accounts, and they were saying that there should be petitions to stone him, that he deserves to die, and it's just wild. He posted, some manga panels from Dan to Dan, including the one that this scene was adapted from, and a couple panels from like later chapters, and he was still getting death threats, and eventually he got doxxed. And the first part of the situation was from some Twitter users, and they doxed him, and they put out his information, and then like, oh my god, then I looked into
that
this
one up for a minute.
I looked into it further today because I finally got access to the thread on it's this website called Soy Jack Party, and these people are so insane. So they're like 4chan on steroids. So what they did was one of the first posts said that they were going to finish the job that the Twitard started, and they like listed off a bunch of they listed off the accounts that they wanted to dox, and then they took it even further and went after his family, and they dragged his deceased brother into it, which is disgusting. And they were going after his social security account too, which is insane. This is next level insane. Chibi did say he is taking legal action, which is appropriate. And the amount of evidence that's on this Soy Jack Party thread, there's definitely enough to get the FBI involved, especially when they said for his Deviant art account that got hacked, they put actual child pornography on there. So
I heard about that. Okay, so that was the guy that had the stuff planted on his account. Okay.
Yep. So those people that call Chibi a pedo for liking Mashuko Tensei and ReZero, he's not the one posting actual child pornography. And the FBI's got enough data now to go after them. He lawyered up. The lawyer's going to go after them too. And they think that they're safe. No, you guys are stupid. And you post, and this happens every time. I saw it with Antifa. You see it with BLM, and you're seeing it with these. You see it every time. These people think they're so slick, and they'll post everything and brag about their shit in a public forum. And they think they can't be found. No, they will be found. There's ways to do it. But
well, and RJ McReady, again, these people, you're dealing with people now that are, this is something I was trying to like talk about when I ran for office locally, is the escalation of offense. When you start people off with, you can burn down a city if you don't like what happened to somebody who was harmed in some way or another, be it just or unjust, however you come down on that, it's not my problem. But you go out and you burn a city because of that person, right? That if you start off at that being zero, okay, where do you go from there? you go to planting horrible things on someone's account in order to put them in jail because they posted a clip that's unflattering of an anime or IP or something or other that you're passionate about, or you've become so offended by the media that was posted, unaware of the context from which it comes from, and thus set out to destroy this person's life, unaware of what you're actually angry about. And this is what you're dealing with. That I was trying to explain this when I was running for office, that you can't have like teenagers and young people starting off with thinking that riots are like ground zero, are like that's where you start with your grievances. Then you go up from there.
Like, seriously, where are these people's parents at? For real. And like, I know
Facing their phones.
I know people are blaming the Boruto community for it, and it's not the Boruto community that's doing this. There was a couple of assholes that are Boruto fans that started off the initial doxing. Yeah, but these people on the Soy Jack party, they are not Boruto fans. I don't even think they're anime fans. They are just a bunch of assholes that they are the worst kind of activists.
Looking for a fight.
They're hacktivists. They're hacktivists. That's the best way to describe it. They're hacktivists. Because if you look at because I looked at the main forum, and they have made it clear that they are on a crusade to take out people that they don't like. And one of the gray areas of this board is about doxing, and they said that they don't encourage doxing, but the users of the site are they allow it. But the moderators will step in if they're doxing the wrong person.
Yeah, they're doxing the wrong. Okay, that's great. That's wonderful. What do we do? Is there like a wheel in the back where we just, is it good or not today? We'll spiel the wheel of morality. Remember that from Animaniacs?
Yeah.
The wheel of morality. I remember that.
These people are so psycho. I'm just like, that's how I compare it to Antifa, because Antifa had something similar. But the difference between them and Antifa is Antifa was kind of smart because they took their shit to Telegram, and Telegram is encrypted. So it's a lot. Yeah, they have their public forum, sure, but Telegram, you can make it to where stuff is hidden and encrypted, and you can't get onto it. Whereas this stuff, though, where Soy Jack Party and Kiwi Farms, for example, they're not encrypted. You can easily access them. And that is stupid, especially if you're doing illegal activity like that.
Not only that, but like taking credit for it, right? Because guess what? If the VPN doesn't hide you from anybody. The ISP just allows you to access stuff that's ordinarily not available to US IP addresses. That's it. It's not a ninja cloak. You don't disappear from the internet when you don't go dark when you turn your VPN on. That's been the most misleading thing about all this, is people think I can commit crimes now because my VPN is on.
Dude, no, you have to be like, if you're going to do that kind of shit, you got to be like on an encrypted server. Fucking idiots, I swear. Like, I may not be in IT, but my late significant other was in IT, and he had his own encrypted servers because he ran a business. IT business, and so he had his own encrypted servers and everything. And what one of the things he did, he made money off this, was Microsoft will pay you. Well, yeah, Microsoft will pay you if you can hack into their servers. So if you can get into Microsoft servers, they'll pay you, because that way they know that they need to fix their servers.
To be clear, don't go break into their servers. There's a website, I can't remember the name of it right now, but there's a website where requests, like bounties, are put up by these corporations for people who are freelancers, for instance, white hat, not black hat, white hat hackers. And they go through and you are instructed to attack in this way, not any other way. So that way you're not breaking into a data bank that other people have like their secure information on, and then there's a legal problem, right? Despite your best efforts to do good, right? So that's
Yeah.
that's what that is. So I don't know the name of it, but feel free to Google that. That is an actual legal thing. If you're interested in becoming a white hat hacker or something like that, like Nerdigan's departed fiance was, make sure that you do it the right way. Okay, that's
Do it
all
the
I
right
ask. You
way.
know,
Yeah,
because
do
there's a
it.
good job. It's good. It's very good paying work to go out there and
Oh,
be a
yes, it
white
is.
hat. Absolutely, especially as this stuff continues to ramp up. So
I mean, especially with what happened with Web Archive today. I mean, yeah, it's kind of important, and with the amount of hacking that's been happening lately, there's good. If you're in IT, you're probably going to be getting paid a lot more money nowadays. Seriously, but we'll see what happens with Chibi down the road. I mean, he lost his for a minute. He lost his access to his Twitter account, but thanks to Asmongold talking about the situation, he got access, back his Twitter account. So
good.
so speaking out about this kind of stuff is really, really important. And I said this to Spencer too. I said I was very hesitant on covering this because this involved his deceased brother. Like, because they literally posted coordinates for where his brother's grave was. Like, that's how sick these people are.
Yep.
But as soon as Chibi gave the go ahead for content creators to cover it, then I felt a little bit better. But he did get armed with a gun. Because he lives in a he doesn't live like in California. He's in a state where you can be armed. And he had officers patrol over by his place, so he did feel safe in case someone tried to pull a stunt. But
Yep.
Yeah, the fact that they came after his family and his brother is ridiculous. This is disgusting stuff. And this was over Dan to Dan. So far anyway. But you know what's even grosser is out of curiosity, because this is when I was looking for Soy Jack party. I found some of the people in the there was a couple people in the Dan to Dan Reddit, and I think it was the Anime Circle Jerk Reddit, were praising this. There's people that are praising and justifying Chibi getting doxxed, saying that he deserved it because of his rage bait posts. And I'm like, you may not agree with what he does. That's disgusting.
You have to remember, a lot of these people either live in like the posh high-rise apartments that have a doorman, or they're in this gated community out in the suburbs. They don't know what it's like to have somebody just roll up on your front door that wants to fight. May be armed, may not be armed, may be conscious, may become unconscious before finishing the challenge to fight. They don't know what that's like. They think that being doxxed is like, yeah, it's whatever. I don't have anything to worry about. I'm out in the country. I'm far enough away that if somebody wants to hurt me, they're going to have to take a plane to get here and then travel an hour in every direction possible to get to me. There's only 2 airports that have international inlets and only 4 total airports that can take a passenger plane near me within an hour's ride, okay? You got to rent a car to get to me. There's going to be a significant paper trail, so you got to be real mad if you want to come after me. That's why I'm not worried about getting doxxed. But somebody like Nerdigans, who lives in a metro area, that's an entirely different problem, because that information gets out on like Craigslist. Well, guess what? Somebody who doesn't know anything about that whole anime situation finds out that there's a young lady who takes a bus, and they find her there. That's how easy it is, man. And that these people do not understand the threat of having that information out in this period where, like, you just put that information out and crazies show up. Let's not remind you, there was that Gabby Giffords guy that showed up there, Jared something or other. And he was raging at her about the currency. He was completely disconnected from reality and shot at her. Well, shot her. He connected. And that, that's what you're dealing with. That's a senator, by the way. That guy was ready to take on security. Imagine just a random person that doesn't have a security detail, that doesn't have 1,000 people between them and the target. That's a big difference. And that just doesn't occur to these guys. They go, you said something on the internet I don't like. I can't go flip over a police car over it, so I'm going to make sure that somebody can hurt your mom. But that's where you're at now. That's how people respond.
I just think that the worst part about it, this whole thing, is the fact that, like, a lot of these people, or the majority of these people, just can't separate fiction from reality. That's the problem that I have the most with this. Is that that's why this is happening. It's because of that. I mean, Chibi gets called a pedo all the time because because of the stuff he likes in terms of anime. It's, oh, hi, kitty. What are you doing?
We have a special guest, Zeno, here.
Hey, Zeno the kitties. Ooh, you got eye pokey. Oh, come here, kitty. Say hi, cat.
Zeno has a tradition of interrupting the streams. As soon as he knows we're live, he's got to start in. So
Yes, he has to, because he wants to be the center of attention.
Oh,
because he.
right on cue. We have Scooby-Doo here at 2 Canadian dollars saying, hi, Zeno.
Hey, kitty, say hi.
Well, we ought to talk about this, though. It's a little less crazy, but also just kind of
still
fun.
Crazy.
We have,
still crazy.
You recall we talked about the Genshin Impact dance. So there was recently a Genshin Impact dance emote that was revealed that had a character on roller skates performing a viral TikTok dance routine that was performed by this lady in the video.
Well, that's what they assumed it was, and it was a leak for this. The actual dance came out, and it was different. But
I see.
But this TikToker who you'll see in the video, she admits she's never heard of Genshin Impact. She plays GTA, and she doesn't own the rights to the dance.
Let's talk about Genshin.
Oh, that's her hair. I feel really bad now.
What do you think it was?
I thought it was a really nice scarf. I live in Maine, okay? Nobody does this to I don't live in a place where people do this to their hair, okay? I live in the country, all right? So you get somebody with blue hair, something's wrong, right? We can see that from a mile off.
Genshin Impact. I received numerous of messages, and I thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Without you, I wouldn't even notice. I don't know this game. I never heard about this game.
Oh boy, can you imagine being somebody that went and crusaded on this woman's behalf and then to find out, those hours and hours you spent arguing with people who likewise don't know anything about this game, totally worthless, because I don't know it either, so thanks, I guess.
I'm a gamer girl myself. I'm playing Sims. I'm playing GTA. I love.
I just gotta point this out. Even the black gals that I dated, there's not a lot in Maine, okay? I'm not gonna lie, right? There's like 0.01%. So like, even the black they played Sims. What is it with Sims and black girls? Huh. That's a weird through thread. There was 2. I dated 2, and then that's 3 of them now. Huh.
I love playing car racing game, but this game, never heard about. For those who don't know, let's rewind. A video went online, a little clip of a character of a game. This character is using, let me say...
See that notification? That's somebody calling me a racist. You can tell right now.
99% of my movement. Let me be clear here, I don't own these moves, but what I'm saying is, if you look closely to position of my arms and the legs, it's basically all the same. It feels like a scan of the whole movement. So many of you guys asked if they paid me for that, if I sued them. And the reason why I also just speak out now is because I needed to check all the deeds, all the information before I speak out. Me and my team figured out that it's not online. And maybe this video is just a leak or it's just a teaser, but it's not in the game. So if it's not in the game, I can't do legal step. It might go online with the next update, or I guess 9th of October, around at that time. Then I will know. And if I see it's online, I can do legal steps. If this is the case, I have to sue the company in 80 countries.
You gotta love it, the megacorps and their 70 different lawyers. You've gotta love it. They come up with this crazy stuff. So even if you want to have a legal battle with them, you have to chase them all over the planet in order to do it.
80 countries, guys. You listen? 80 countries. Till then, I have to wait. If you play this game and if you see this character using the move, please reach out.
You sound very excited about suing 80 countries. Around the world in 80 lawsuits. There we go. That's a good one.
Well, people pointed out when the clip came out that it was just a bad edit, and that was a leak. And the update came out, and it was different.
What a surprise. You know, and again, like I have heard of companies doing this. They'll take because you can do this now. There's a free app even. It's not an app. It's a browser based program. Kind of like, if you're not aware, AI has a lot of browser based functionality. You don't have to just go to Discord to interact with these things. You can go on a browser and interact with them, generate media. And so I have seen people scan in like video and anime scenes into the AI motion tracker 3D asset generator. And so what it'll do is, like, you Goku powering up. He's got that posture where he's squatted down and his fists are up. He's doing his power up thing. So what the AI motion tracker will do is it will just isolate the skeleton of that. So it'll just take Goku squatting down and moving the arms, but it won't put his face on there. It'll just create sort of the humanoid body type, making that movement. Then you just strap any character you want onto that. You literally put that into the either Unity editor, or you put that into the Unreal Engine if you prefer. Put that in there and put the skin over it. Blender probably works for this too. I'm not familiar with this technology. I'm getting it secondhand from someone who is, okay? And so how that works then is that the character that you've then put onto that skeleton repeats the movement from the AI motion tracker. So you have the person doing the roller skate movement, and that's recorded by the AI motion tracker. Then you put the Genshin character over the top of it and throw that out as an advertisement. It's no problem. But you can do that on your own. You don't even have to do that as Hoyoverse. You don't need the like millions of dollars to do it. It's free. You could do that right now with any old, like, you like that cool like slow motion running thing that Rocky and Creed are doing, but you wish it was Cloud and Sephiroth running down the beach. You could do that. It does that. It'll even put them in the movie for you. You want to watch instead of Rocky and Clubber Lang punching each other, you want to watch Optimus and Megatron punch each other in middle of a 1980s ring? It'll do that for you. It'll look kind of weird. The lighting won't be right, but it'll do it for you. Yeah. So that's probably what happened. I don't even think that Hoyoverse probably had any legal intention with it. If they even put it out themselves, like it wasn't just an employee that created that on their own and posted it. See, I make stuff for Bounding, and I don't ask Bounding Central if I could do it. You know, I make songs here that are they're a little spicy every now and then. The topic matter, a little spicy. And I don't write up corporate like, hey, I'm posting a video that talks about how an Asian man is going to replace a black man. Is that okay? It's set to a really good tune. You know, it's set to a really cool tune, dude. It's great music. And Spencer says, I've given you the green light. Yeah, I run this like it's my channel right into the ground. You bet. But but there it is.
The other thing I got to mention too is because of the game voice actor strike that's happening. For the latest version that just came out, there's no English voice actors. There's no English dub for it.
And you know what? It'll probably sell better than the English dub ever did.
I know a lot of people are just that play Genshin Impact because I posted about it, and they're just like, and there's nothing of value was lost. Because they don't play Genshin in English. They play it in either Chinese or Japanese.
Well, and this is a new one that just came out. I believe it was yesterday, last night. probably early in the morning in Japan. That's probably why it got announced. This was pretty big news when I ran across it. Pardon me. Excuse me. So we have now AI generated voices will be used for virtual assistants and robots, but not in anime film dubs. Top Japanese actors' voices to be converted into multiple languages in AI voice systems. So what's going to happen is that remember how we were talking about the localizers screwing up anime, screwing up manga, screwing up video games? Well, Japan had enough of that. And as it turns out, see, I use this technology when I'm working my other job. I generate AI stuff for another company. And you can record your own voice, right? Feed it into this one AI and then type anything you want. You can copy and paste the State of the Union address. And your voice will speak every word of it with a little bit of emotion. A little bit of emotion to it. You can crank up the emotion meter. All right? And depending on how forceful you are with your voice entry, that's how it comes back out. And so that's what they're going to do with this. They're just
Well, for
going to
right now-
record the.
Well, for right now, it's for virtual assistants and robots. It doesn't say for anime films and dubs, at least for now.
Right. And that's the testing phase. That's the testing phase. Because what the problem is that I run into is, like I said, you can crank up the emotion meter, but it still isn't a full human expression. It's only just a little bit longer before you'll have the one-to-one text-to-voice situation. Because what's happening is that it's not taking the voice and converting it over. It's taking text, then generating a new voice from the text. And that's the difference. The technology isn't there to one-to-one translate, like Star Trek, for instance. It's not there yet, but that's coming. So,
But like something that I was talking to, I think it was one of the Bleach animators I was talking to about this. Was where do we draw the line with AI voice acting? Because like for in my opinion, for like say like a legacy voice actor, like for James Earl Jones for Darth Vader, where it's used sparingly, like I think that's okay. But for like a new character or something, like a new anime character, that should have their own voice actor. It shouldn't be like recycled voices over and over again, if that makes sense.
No, it absolutely does, because look at Hollywood. Why does Borderlands have a cast made up of AARP candidates? Who thought that was great to be like, hey, have you ever picked, do you even know what an Xbox is? How about a PlayStation? If I show you a controller, can you separate it from a dildo? And it's just, they can't. It vibrates, it's got rounded soft edges. That's all they got. So that's the thing with this, with what, we got Borderlands doing that. You got all these movies coming out with everybody. Yeah, it's because Eli Roth is into Grandma's I'd Like to Friend. Yep. And but the whole thing is that this keeps happening. Vin Diesel keeps getting cast in the movies he's got no business being in. Look at that Bloodshot movie. That was just Vin Diesel with nanomachines. There's nothing about Bloodshot in there. There's nothing about that at all. And so that's what you're gonna get though with that AI cloning thing. You're absolutely right, because they're, instead of like a new Goku actor, because they're never going to give up Dragon Ball. I hope you're aware that that's going to go on forever and ever 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 and never again. Okay, they're this close to rebooting the whole thing again. So, trust me,
Daima. One Piece, though.
Well, that's the Americans doing it. I'm talking about the Japanese.
I'm talking about with One Piece for the reboot anime. They're doing it. They're going to have different voice actors for. I think they're going to have different voice actors for the characters, because the original voice actors are getting way too old.
Yeah, we talked about
the Wit one. Yeah, so
we talked about that when they showed off the character designs that they were.
Yeah, so they're going to have different voice actors. So if they do a reboot of Dragon Ball, I think if One Piece is doing it, I think Dragon Ball will do it. I honestly think so. Especially if you have One Piece doing it.
Ask yourself, do they have a choice? Moro was a planet. Goku had to fight a planet. He had to become one of their like super duper uber gods. Where do they go? There's nowhere to go. You gotta take them back to being kids, and I think that's what Daima is attempting to do: is give the market chibi Dragon Ball.
Well, here's the thing with Daima, and this is what Geekdom was saying. Geekdom 101 was saying in one of his videos, is that what Daima is like, it's like a Super Dragon Ball Heroes meets like GT kind of thing. Because in Super Dragon Ball Heroes, which if you have not read the manga, go read it, you will thank me. Because in there you see like them go to the demon realm, and there's some good stuff in there. And they're going to the demon realm here, and we're seeing like the return of Goku being a kid again, which was like from GT, and we're getting those stories from a little bit of that inspiration mixed in there too. And some of the stuff from Daima is supposed to be coming into play in Dragon Ball Super, the Dragon Ball Super manga later down the line. So my guess is that in Dragon Ball Super manga, we might go back to the demon realm. That's my guess. Or that's at least what I want anyway, but
I just don't know how they do it. That's the thing, is that where's the power level go?
Well, in Vegeta's case, and I would love to see it personally, is him getting like a demon god Super Saiyan. That would be sick. Ultra Ego going into like a demon god form, that I could see. But Goku, I think, has reached, at least for now anyway, I don't think he could go any higher than Ultra Instinct. He's no way he could hit Demon God, because Ultra Instinct is about purity. Ultra Ego, on the other hand, for Vegeta, that can go into a Demon God form and it'd work. That's what I would like to see personally, but I don't know if it will go in that direction.
I don't know. Isn't he? We do have a question that'll lead into this next thing. That's pretty good. So, Hey It's Being HD asked, so what's the verdict, Bounding? Is Sparking Zero worth the $80 price tag? And from what I can tell, yes. Everybody and their brother has not been able to defeat Great Ape Vegeta without putting their head through one or two walls.
That's good.
This right here, this joke is, Kakarot, my Saiyajin, lower your difficulty and return. Retry. And that's what it is. You'll approach it on normal level and he just owns you. That they program that character with an endless supply of ki blasts, so you can't get close enough to use the Kaioken on him. It's literally the opposite of how the anime went. Goku shows up, he gets owned by Vegeta, so when you get the game there, you think it's going your way. He transforms into the ape, then he completely owns you until you lower your difficulty and try it on baby mode. Not baby with the streaks, just little baby with the poopy diaper. But yeah, it is. Everybody and their brother is having the hardest time with this. Also, apparently, the ability to match up each character, they have unique voice lines for every possible combination you could come up with. The characters are actually interacting with each other. See, Goku as the Ascended Saiyan fighting Super Saiyan 3 Gohan that lost his arm against 17.
Yeah.
He acknowledges that this is the Gohan that grew up without him. And he's sorry that this is the... Right, and he says, I'm sorry that this is the first time we're meeting. How about you show me how strong you've gotten since the last time I saw you? And of course, Gohan's character replies with, "You bet, Dad, I hope you came ready." And that it's right back to Gohan being a kid again. But that's a unique pairing between the Ascended, the Ultra Instinct Goku. You don't get that if you choose SSJ4 Goku. And that's how deep they went in, okay? So it's worth that $80. There's a ton of unique lines. There's some cringe ones, but apparently those came from the manga itself. And apparently Trunks and Gotenks, not so much Goten, but Trunks and Gotenks use a lot of Zoomer and Alpha lingo.
Nah, that's the English dub being stupid. The Japanese dub is a little bit different from what I've heard.
Just a smidge, though. But they're using the word Riz, and they're using the word bro, and they're using the word
I know they use no cap. I know that.
Yeah, that one. That's the one. Yeah, Gotenks uses that when you're in the hyperbolic time chamber battling him. He says no cap in that one.
They use. Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah. And so it's hit or miss. Don't get me wrong, it's
That
hit or
English
miss,
dub
but that
sounds terrible. Oh
that
my
came
god.
from the manga apparently. So I was shown that
I have not seen
not
that
the original
manga.
manga, but the one that they're basing the characters off of in this storyline. That whatever.
What?
So yeah,
Ru-
yeah. No, I
what
saw.
are you talking about then? Like, I call bullshit.
I saw the
people-
translation of a super panel where Go Tanks is saying no cap. And it's in Japanese, and then the Japanese text is repeated in on the Twitter post, and it's translated right below. It says "No cap, bro," and it's from that one. And it's okay. That's I'm sure Japanese kids use Zoomer lingo. We taught them cool. We taught them
I need to see this and have my
those
people look
meddling
at it.
kids and their newfangled language. Yeah, so that's what's in there. So again, if you can deal with like the kid Trunks that you identified with when you were 12 talking like a 12-year-old from today, then you're not gonna have a problem. There are some cringe lines, but they're mostly reserved to the kids. Goku alludes to fuck around and find out, but he doesn't say that. And it's that close though.
One. I saw that one. We talked about that too on here, and we know that the localizer behind that talked to the staff about it and was laughing about it. I was just like,
well,
it's just,
Zippy points this out. He says slang is a time and place thing that only works for a certain rule world manga. And so I do want to point out though that Trunks, even in the original anime, even the original manga, was using bro and cool and radical, and I don't think he said tubular, but I think he said like no, it must have been radical. But that again, like he was using like the youth language of the mid 90s, early 2000s. So I get it. I understand what they're trying to do with updating Trunks' lingo in particular and not Goten's. That's why I kept saying that Goten doesn't talk like that. So they made it a point.
that, but
Yeah, and he didn't in the past either. In the original stuff, he didn't talk like Trunks. He still was very plain with his language. He said cool, but he didn't use radical and he didn't say bro. And that was that. I think that it's okay, I guess, because like you're gonna see kids on TikTok talk like that, and if Trunks is meant to appeal to a youth audience, him sounding like them isn't out of character for him. I agree that it's weird because
I have to wonder, like, if this. I have to wonder. I'll have to ask my followers if this is how it is in the Japanese version that is in Japan, released in Japan, because something that happens is there's a different translation. We see this in, like, for example, the Super Mario Brothers movie, where in Japan they have a completely different version of the movie compared to the global version of the movie. It's a completely different script. So I have to wonder if that is the case here, because to me that would make sense. I would be like, okay, if that's how it is, okay, I could see that being the case. That would make sense. But if it's the same in Japan, then I will die. I will lose my shit if it is the same in Japan, in the Japanese release version.
oh my, it's 7 hours ago. This is official. It's over. Oh no. It's official for Bandai Namco. It's okay. It's okay for you to lower your difficulty. It's okay. The company has come out and told you it's okay, little guy. If you can't beat Grade 8 Vegeta, you just turn down the difficulty, buddy. It's okay. It's from on high. It's from us. It's amazing that that's real. That the company itself came out and said it's okay. No, it's great.
Why did you do that?
No, it's great. It's great because what they're saying is it's okay to turn on journalism mode. Okay, they're admitting that it's too hard. If you want to bitch and complain, just turn down the difficulty. We're not going to make the game easier. We already made it easier. You're the one that overestimated your ability to play it. And
I like
that's
that.
amazing. That is a dunk from orbit. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine being somebody that had a problem with this character and then the corporation comes out and says, my friend, it's okay to lower your difficulty.
That's funny. You know what? The fact that you're saying that this is like probably for the journalists, it just makes it so much better.
Oh, I bet. Like IGN's the ones reporting on it, so you know they were like, "Oh, thank God." They may have been the ones to ask, and Namco was like, "It's okay, we won't tell." And then, so they were like, "Oh, Namco says it's okay for everybody else. It's not just us. We're not the only ones that suck at this. You suck at it too." And they said it was okay for everybody to turn it down. I love this.
Yes,
To
Kitty, it's
work
okay
in that
for you to turn
marketing
down the
department
difficulty.
and say, "Yeah, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna tell them they suck at the game, but it's okay to suck at the game."
Kitty says it's okay to suck at the game too, and you could turn down your difficulty. It's okay.
Don't turn down the kitty though.
Don't turn down. I can't turn him down because he's too cute.
Yeah. So it's okay. It's only $70 for the game. Yeah, it's only $70 for the game. Yeah, and that's it's up to you if you want to have the divine misery of losing to cell shaded Vegeta. But Spencer's here though. Hi.
I think you're like, I'm with Nerdigans on this one. I have never, like, they do this in like Devil May Cry and a couple fighting games. It's like, oh, if you're losing, you can lower the difficulty setting. I take that as like a challenge. I go, oh hell, like no way, like you're not gonna get me on that. So I have not gotten to this fight yet, but I'm sure you'll probably hear me like still playing it next week.
Like next week, Spencer comes in. There's like rings under his eyes. His hair's all messed up. His shirt's ripped. He's like,
the damn
him.
monkeys.
Why does he keep punching me in the dick?
It may be because of the Dodgers game, maybe instead.
That's true.
That's why I've got it. I've got the game up over here. Padres, if they win this, they go to the series, and the Dodgers are out. I really just want the Dodgers to be sad. So that's
well, the Dodgers were picking. Well, the Dodgers started picking fights, so
that is what happens with Dodger San Diego or like San Diego sports rivalries, like whether it's like the Raiders and the Chargers back in the day or Padres Dodgers now. Like the joke is always that like somebody's gonna get stabbed. They're going to give out 3 knives. Like the giveaway for each game is going to be like a knife and a Tecate. Like that's always the joke. There's always something going to happen.
And then there's the Mets with Grimace. Like that is just the most random.
I can't wait. Padres Mets. That's what's going to happen.
And then Grimace will be there, and it will be sponsored by McDonald's. Like even McDonald's Japan is kind of.
I don't even know what that's about. Like, I don't know what this Grimace thing is about. I don't get the meme. Maybe this is me being like a boomer. Maybe I finally hit that point in my life. But I got the Grimace shake memes back on TikTok. I got those. That was pretty self-explanatory. But now, what is this Grimace at baseball games thing, Nerdigans?
Like people are just wearing Grimace.
Okay, so it's just people. It's just people dressing up.
Yeah, there's people dressing up as Grimace, and one of them, or a few of them, have been holding like OMG signs, and it's like a rally. What the hell?
He just comes jumping in. Like I don't get it. Look at him. He's just jumping in. Like this purple McNugget is now the symbol of American baseball. I don't understand.
I don't. This is what happens when you're in a good mood and you're really, really, really drunk. Everything becomes the greatest thing in the world.
But the Mets need this, man. The Mets haven't had shit in years. They need something.
They're going to the NLCS. They don't need random people dressing up as Grimace. I don't know.
The rally Grimace, man. Grimace has gotten them this far. And now Grimace is being talked about in Japan, too. So,
I mean, hasn't Grimace existed over there? I mean, they've had Ronald McDonald
Yeah.
stuff.
Look at this. Look at that. Look at what he does.
Oh, I love this. I love this.
How can I?
I saw that one originally, and it was captioned like, "What if Dragon Ball was in the real world?" And it was the he's beat my ass.
They jumped my ass.
Poor Vegeta. Goku the goat. Goatku.
Oh man, it's what a wonderful world to live in. While we're stalling for Jacob to show up, though, we didn't get to cover this one, and well,
take it away, Nerdigans.
Oh, there's Jacob.
Yeah, you wrote the article.
Yo.
But yeah, this was so wild. So, there's a new music video that came out. Well, this came out like last week. From Hoyoverse.
So wait, Nerdigans, what is Zenless Zone Zero? What is this game?
Zenless Zone Zero is another one of Hoyoverse's gacha games that has gotten popular in the West. And something that the Hoyoverse fans will say in the West is that every Hoyoverse game is gay.
I love the clarification, in the West.
In the West, specifically. And there's something they've been doing for I think it's their S rank characters. They've been releasing these music videos, and for Caesar, who is the leader of a biker gang, they released this really sweet like pop music video, and it's her like fantasizing about being in love with this character named Weiss, who is a straight guy, and she like self inserts herself into a shoujo manga with this guy, and of course, the Yuritard side of Hoyo Twitter was not happy because it ruined their headcanon, and they lost their minds, and they attacked, of course, the tweet that this was posted under. And some people were saying like it's gross that she's straight, that most men can't handle a strong woman like her. That basically women can't, strong women. Can't like romantic things or feminine things. It's so weird. It is the weirdest thing. It's kind of like going back to Ranma half with the egg crack. Oh god, those people are so gross.
Well, it's the thing that we always see, right, Nerdigans, which is, we want diversity. Don't judge people. Don't stereotype. Stereotypes bad. And then the second they see something stereotypical, they go, oh, that fits into this stereotype. You have to be this. It is so hilariously hypocritical.
It is. It's gross too when they try to keep it like this certain way. And then you have like the same type of people. You have the tomboys coming out and say they like seeing this feminine side of her and that they can relate to her. And they say that that's me. And they disregard them. It's just so disgusting seeing these people.
It's because
I can relate to those.
The people who obsess over this stuff and just can't like accept their own headcanons as headcanons, which is fine. Everybody does it. Like there's nothing wrong with it. It boils back down to that same problem that's at the root of all the stuff we talk about here, which is it's just pure narcissism. It's just pure like me. I need to be seen. I need to have this, rather than thinking about what is the quality of your work. What are you do? Like, that just exists for them to go, I want to be special. I want everybody to recognize me. It's so dumb.
I just want to say on a quickly unrelated note, the sole reason why I'm here tonight is just to say F the Mets. F the Mets.
That's what I'm talking about.
Dodgers. I hope they both lose. And who knows?
Mets won, unfortunately. They're going to the CS.
Who, the Dodgers?
No, the Mets.
Oh yeah,
Grimace is winning. Grimace just keeps on winning. My dad's happy.
Let's not hold our breath too much. This is a team that hasn't won a championship since I was negative 2 years old. So
that's literally what Nerdigans was saying. She's like, they need something. Somebody give them something.
My dad's a Mets fan. Okay, let him. He's been a Mets fan.
Well, I hope Papa Nerdigan suffers greatly. That's my story of the night.
Oh, that's mean.
Real quick, do you guys want to go ahead and hit the intro for the show? Do you want to
I was just about to make sure we could do that.
just hoops that your life for the line. We fighting for more than peace this time. And please don't give up on this, my valiant heart. In the face of fear, I promise I won't fall apart. Through the fire and the rain, for you I'll stand tall. Take my hand, and together we'll never fall. My brother, I promise, we're enough to survive this trial. Enough to survive this trial.
Jeff was beginning to wonder, who are these people? Why were they the stars of every television show he tried watching? Did he eat edibles and forget? Forget what? Jeff asked the British voice inside of his head. You'll find out, Jeff. You'll find out.
Now, I don't want to take credit, but Ubisoft has been dying ever since we blasted it with the O.R.C.A.
San Diego Superchargers, San Diego Superchargers, charge. We're coming your way.
Look, Sino, we got a new intro. Isn't it cute?
Yes.
With thunderbolts and lightning.
Very, very
sky.
Oh boy, we are back and it has been a week. We have so much to talk about, but first, before we get started, I know I'm jumping the gun. I know I'm just really excited to talk about all the stuff we have tonight. Before we get started, welcome everybody. I hope you enjoyed Tokyo Happy Hour. We are officially here for the 01 stream here at Bounding Into Comics. My name is Spencer Picculi. You know me. I'm the editor-in-chief over here at this wonderful website. I am joined by the master of cider-monies, my man Cider over there, our resident anime expert, Nerdigans, and the official king of this entire operation, Jacob Smith. How are you guys doing tonight?
It's 1-0 Dodgers by 19.
I know. Mookie just got it while we were in the freaking back.
I just a suggestion.
I personally
box.
blame Nerdigans.
Just kind of toss this one as a suggestion. Let's not use cider-monies ever again. I
know it's not. It's not great.
You know, I can see right now we have about 22 people listening on YouTube side of things. If all of you guys could collectively just say very, very nice things about Cider for the course of the night, that would just be amazing. Just talk about what a swell, awesome guy that Cider is.
What a pal.
Talk about how great his hat is.
Also hit the like and share the stream.
That'll also make me extremely angry. That's true. Yep. That'll make me very angry.
Before we get started tonight, I do want to thank everybody who is showing up right now at the start of the show, because you absolutely could have been doing something. The second start of the show, you absolutely could have been spending your time doing something. So good for democracy, so helpful. You could have been hanging out with vice presidential candidate Tim Waltz over on Twitch as he played World of Warcraft. And yeah, like, in case I bring this up because this is an actual campaign event that the Harris campaign is doing right now. Their whole big thing all day, they were like, come to our Twitch channel. Tim Waltz is going to be playing World of Warcraft. And I'm like, what year is this?
No.
Why are we playing Yeah, no, it's 100% real.
Can you imagine?
Our good buddy Rick was not joking on us.
Can you imagine if like they come out? It's like, hey, tonight, presidential candidate Kamala Harris is gonna play Modern Warfare 2.
Honestly, that would probably put her up in the polls. I'm not even gonna lie. That would actually feel genuine as opposed to like, okay, I don't know what it's so.
If Kamala Harris would kill someone in Modern Warfare 2 and then immediately start teabagging him, like Trump's campaign would be in trouble. Like,
she has a pass theoretically. She can use it. She can tear those lobbies up. It would be a whole new era. It would be a return.
Could you imagine the embarrassment of like getting killed by Kamala Harris by using like Commando Pro?
You know Kamala Harris uses what is it? Last Chance, where you drop the grenade when you die.
Oh yeah,
you know she uses that.
Was he meant to be going for very long, or was it like 10 minutes and okay, we're done? Was he gonna? Like,
I have no idea. I just saw this because of Rick when he tagged us in it.
Oh, okay.
But, I'm just sort of.
He's not even on the featured page. He's not even on the front page.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not.
So if he's, I mean, he might not be.
How do you battle against hot tub streams?
Well, it's not that. There's gaming categories now. They broke it down, so they broke it down so that way it's not all porn. And
is that why Amaranth is on right now? Because the Harris guy is on screen and she's trying to siphon viewers.
I don't know. I'm scrolling through and there's nothing to do with the Harris campaign whatsoever. There's a dude in the bathroom who's talking about the hurricane.
It's on my end. It's literally
video right now.
It's literally Amaranth, Hassan, Puffer, and like Vince Russo for some reason, and that's all that's on my screen. Yeah,
never Masato.
Okay.
I went over to not compatible with that.
Do we want to bring up?
Hold on, Narragansons. Hold on. Okay. Just hold on. We'll get to everything. Don't worry. We're just laughing about this one thing. We have so much time to get to everything. But I just want to know, I went over to Twitch. The only reason I found it is because it's being boosted to me. It's like in the things we think you'll like, because I don't use my Twitch, so there's no algorithm for it to think about. The stream, I'm looking at it right now. It's not even Tim Waltz playing World of Warcraft. It is gameplay of World of Warcraft side by side with him at a rally in Arizona. Like, this is so bad. This is so nothing. This is not how you outreach to people. There you go. This is it. Whoa, knocked over a thing. Whatever, don't care.
That's amazing. That is amazing. So, like, this is what they wanted to do to Kai. This is what they wanted to do to Kai.
Actually, they wanted Kai Cenat to just sort of have Tim on, I guess, to like this is so fellow kids. This is so insanely fellow kids. I prefer when Republicans, like when conservatives are like, I don't like video games because I don't understand them. I prefer that over like, let's get to the kids with the video games. Like, remember when what's her name, AOC and Ilhan Omar did like the Twitch stream where they played Among Us, and they were like, yeah, we're super gamers, check out our rigs. And it's like, you're playing on a 32 gig RAM machine for Among Us. Like, this is so fake. It hurts.
32 to play. The RTX is completely on.
It was. I was like, why are you guys bragging? Why do you have your machine stats up? You can
play Among Us on a DS,
dude. You could play it on like the DS mobile browser.
The DS mobile browser.
Dude, okay, this is just sort of tangentially related because I was reminded of DS now. Years ago, I went to go see with an ex-girlfriend. We went to go see the Blue Man Group, and afterwards, the Blue Man Group went into the lobby and they were like meeting people and talking. There was a lady who was probably in her late 60s, early 70s, and she was taking photos. Like, oh my gosh, they're right in front of us. But she was taking photos with her DS, like a Nintendo DS. She was holding it up, like click, 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 and I'm like, I have never seen anybody actually use a DS as a camera. This is so bizarre.
I've never seen that either.
Right? I don't know who uses the camera outside of like you open up the DS the first time and you're like playing around with it and you go, oh, that's cool. Now where's my Mario Kart?
But the thing I wanted to bring up, though, is you saw the new enforcement community notes, right? That Twitch
This is
announced?
something we should bring up. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's like a major double standard that someone pointed out between VTubers and VR chat. That's
so
really
if you guys
disturbing.
if you guys haven't been following, this is sort of it's the latest chapter in the ongoing Twitch is full of crap and has hypocritical double standards for everything, right? So VTubers,
Hip-hopcracy? Is that
Hip-hopcracy? Oh man,
Yeah.
there's got to be an album named that, and it's going to have the hardest cover of all time because it's going to be
Maybe
one of
that's
those
what we
ones
call
made
the
in, like,
Bounding
2003.
into Bangers album. We call
There
that
we go.
Hip-hopcracy.
Write it down. Write it down. Look at that. It's so natural here, guys. So VTubers, in case you guys aren't aware of this trend, VTubing is basically just people going and streaming, and they use anime avatars, generally anime avatars, as their like their camera appearance. Cider has his VTuber avatar. You guys have seen it sometimes, but the dedicated VTubers, that's like they play that character all the time. And this is a really big section of Twitch. It's growing. It's huge. Obviously, Twitch does not like VTubers for some reason, which doesn't make sense to me, because I would theoretically think that, you know, if they're bringing in money for the platform, that's money for you. I don't know what you're complaining about, but they've over the past few months, VTubers have been getting really sick of their accounts being dinged, of getting suspended, of being banned for the least egregious of things possible, right? Like there's one Twitch VTuber, Fallen Shadow, like colloquially known as Shondo. Ryan Pearson over here, our good video game reporter, he interviewed her a couple of days ago about the whole fiasco. And one of the things that stood out to me there was there was this incident where she was sort of pretending to do that anime pratfall thing where you're like, haha, right? Like you suddenly hit the ground when you're embarrassed, like they do in Pokemon all the time. She was doing that, and her avatar's feet went up on the screen. And so everybody in the chat was going, oh, show feet, you know, just like either being genuinely horny or fake horny. But because Twitch views these anime characters as children, regardless of whether what the avatar looks like or who the person behind the avatar is, they consider all VTubers to essentially be children. So the second all of Shondo's fans started going, you know, making those comments to her, Twitch lost their mind and were like, you're sexualizing kids. I can't believe you. We gotta ban you. So that all came to a head this week or yesterday, right? Was it yesterday or today, Nerdigans, that they dropped?
It was yesterday.
Okay. So yeah, yesterday Twitch comes out and they're like, okay, we have new rules for everybody. Like we're going to clarify everything. And their big genius solution was basically, they basically said these rules apply to everybody. It's not just VTubers or 3D tubers. It, you know, no lewd outfits, no showing your buttocks, no, you know, like no taking shots for donations, or it's just a bunch of really very, 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 very stringent things that, you know, that we all know aren't applied to the Amaranths or the millions of other cam girls out there. Like one of the Twitch things I remember, which I think it's funny, but it's still emblematic of the problem, is there was this Twitch streamer she like wore green tights and then streamed Tears of the Kingdom on her butt. Like that was like the green screen effect. She put it there. And I thought that was funny, but like that's the sort of thing we're talking about, right? That's okay. But if a anime looking character, you know, has too much of a midriff, banned. It's too inappropriate. And
they're banning lollies and shotas too. You can't have a lolly or shota.
Well, that's what I mean. It doesn't matter because lolly does not necessarily imply child. Lolly is an appearance, right? It's a childlike appearance, but it can apply to adult women. It can apply to, you know, not just 4-year-olds or whatever. So a lot like Shondo is a lolly tuber, but she doesn't consider herself a child. She doesn't portray herself as a child. That's just the art style, if you will, that she's portraying herself in. And so these rules are super stringent, super unfair. And one of the big problems is that for VTubers, making those avatars is not cheap. they have to spend hundreds of dollars to get their artists to build them, to rig them up correctly, to get them to react right. So every time Twitch just throws willy-nilly out
Those
a new
damn
rule,
riggers.
those riggers. We got to have some rules for those riggers. But yeah, every time Twitch throws out a new rule, that's another couple $100 that every VTuber has to spend to their artists, not necessarily to Twitch, to fall within the rules. And it's not fair. And it's just, yeah. What do you think, Nerdigans? Like, I just think it's completely hypocritical. If you're going to show, real girl booty, why not allow 2D booty?
Well, the thing that I just don't understand, and I keep asking this question, is why Twitch, why aren't you investing in VTubers? Why are you investing in cam girls? VTubers bring you in more money than cam girls. Well, yeah, VTubers will definitely bring in more money. VTubers are popular worldwide. These cam girls are not. I mean, VTuber, and also VTubers are having a hard time on YouTube too. So, like, if you accommodate VTubers on Twitch and become a VTubing platform, that would probably save Twitch as a platform, but they're not doing it. And plus, VTubers actually game. It's not like cam girls that are just doing these stupid metas that could shut down the platform potentially.
So there's a lot to take a look at here. I don't like to use the term unpacked. I don't like that. So there's a lot to unbread here. Maybe, I don't know if that's what you do to your nuggets.
Almost sounds worse.
Yeah, almost. So here we have the attire policy applies to VTubers in the same way it applies to other streamers. Genitalia, buttocks, hips, female-presented nipples, not male-presented, and underbust must be covered at all times on general streams. These guidelines apply to VTuber models, but not video game characters, including those uploaded into games such as VR-Chat. Hip coverage is often forgotten in this rule. Please be sure that your VTuber model covers this area. And so I just want to point
feel
out
my inner Abe coming out, Cider. Like, all of this rush to desexualize everything and cover everybody in a towel. It's like, all countries are currently suffering through a birth crisis, right? We got to get people in the mood.
Well, this is one of the things that a lot of people are kind of overlooking, not on purpose or anything like that, but just sort of forgetting about. We talked about this when the adpocalypse happened. This is called COPPA. And COPPA is a very important law here in the United States, and thanks to it existing in the United States, it pretty much dominates media around the world. And so COPPA is the Children's Online Privacy and Protection Act, the law that gives parents control over what information websites can collect from their children, as well as expose them to. That's the other side of this law. And so what this is that COPPA basically explains that you can't use what is considered children's media to advertise adult material. And unfortunately, most of what people consider to be animated and video game related, by the way, it's not just, a lot of people do not frame video games as an adult hobby. They frame it as a children's hobby. And so especially this Nintendo stuff that typically leans into anime girls. And so you have these, a lot of, I wouldn't say concerned parents, I would say boomers past their prime, that are passing these laws, believing that they're protecting children, and in most cases, they probably are. But this law overreaches in that it enforces a certain behavior to cartoons alone. This does not specify that real people need to be as controlled as cartoons and video games have to be controlled. That's the difference here. COPPA focuses on children's media, not adult media. That's why hot tubs, beaches, and pools, oh my, are allowed to exist on Twitch without any trouble, while you can grease your boobies up and stand there and jiggle wiggle, put a screen over them. When everybody super chats, you can look at your greased up boobies, but you can't have a VTuber model that's wearing the Witchblade costume from a globally circulated anime that's been translated into several different languages. So that's where you're at. That's why that exists. It's not really Twitch's fault per se, but they are clumsily enforcing it when it should be universal. It'll cut down the failure rate. You know what I mean? The failure rate. When you enforce it universal, nobody's gonna break it, right?
Or like everybody would understand. I guarantee you, if this was completely uniformly enforced, everybody would be upset and be like, "This is annoying." But at least they'd go, "Okay, at least it's fair for all of us." But we know that that's not going to happen. They're not getting rid of Amaranth. They're not getting rid of. There's a girl right now on the Twitch front screen. What's her name? Melabelia. I don't know. Like, it's the same. All of this stuff, right? Like, they're not getting rid of it because. I don't know why, because Nerdigans is right. Nerdigans is 100% right that VTubers, I guess, bring in more money. So why are we? It's just all sort of driven by greed, right? They will fudge numbers, they will lie, they will try to pull the wool over your head just to eke out another 10 Twitch subs, another 400 bits or whatever you're giving over these days.
I mean, look at what happened with Iron Mouse. She got, she became the most subbed Twitch streamer, and how she did that was via her charity streams. While Kai Cenat is getting subscriptions by doing really stupid crap and possibly illegal, maybe in some states illegal stuff. So
yeah, like driving around in the U-Haul van.
Yeah, so it's like, what do you want, Twitch? Do you want something that, like, do you want more streamers like Iron Mouse that are doing charitable streams, that are doing actually more, let's see, legal streams? Or do you want legal streams on there? Well, technically they did have illegal streams if you count the protest streams, because there was quite a few on there. They were showing illegal shit. So, yeah, there is that. But still, I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. This is so stupid. You should have invested in VTubers, but you invested in cam girls, which might get them shut down, considering how old, the age group that is on Twitch. It's 13 and up. It's not an 18 and up website.
I feel like at this point, if they haven't taken action against them, they're not going to take action against them. Like, they've got to have some really good lobbyists out there, because that's the big issue, and they don't take any. Like that's how predatory Twitch is. They're willingly predatory, where they know their user base is mostly young men with disposable income, and who are they going to promote and put as the face of their website, their service, the attractive women, because then the boys will simp, they'll throw extra dollars. Like, it happens.
Yep, and that's
all very underhanded.
Well, it's what got Ubisoft and EA in trouble, the predatory practices of like leaning into these guys and whatnot. So, but moreover, to remember about the VTuber thing, it is an entirely new entertainment medium to the West. It's been around for a very long time in the East, so they understand how to do this, how to deal with it. They have a guy that got married to Hatsune Miku, the girl from Vocaloid. Yeah. The guy got married to her. So that's they know how to deal with this. They know what's going to be born out of it. They've seen it already. Our problem is that we refuse to learn from history, even if it happened 10 minutes ago. And that seems to be the biggest problem here on the English-speaking side of it, at least, is that we're just not ready to accept that we do need to take this seriously as an entertainment medium, because it's only going to expand.
Well, I mean, isn't right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Nerdigans. Isn't Iron Mouse now like the most subscribed Twitch user?
Yep.
Yeah. So like they're here to stay, and they're not going anywhere, right? Also, pardon me, Misato Katsuragi brings up a really good point in the chat. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a woman who was literally busted doing it on stream. She only got a week ban, and she's back. And she's fine, and no demonetization or anything. So yeah, Twitch is completely full of it.
Either that, or they're just jealous of anime girls. It's because remember who the mods are there. There's a lot of Skittles running the platform in terms of moderation.
I think it really just has more to do with the fact is that Twitch gets a cut of all the cent money that goes on their platform. So that's really just the main driver behind the whole thing, is that they're just getting a cut. So they'll just let them get away with anything.
Yeah.
They
The
need the
the
money.
second you enforce that and you lead these women off of this platform and you send them to OnlyFans or whatever, which is where they would set up shop, they go, oh no, our money, it's all gone, and then
So
all the paper
Zippy
trail.
DSM Lee asks, Kappa is nuts. Why didn't they make a filtered kid network where the devices can be locked in it, the stuff to the kids network? This way kids are locked and protected network of 100 curated content. They did that, and then the Elsa Spider-Man MK Ultra stuff showed up, where Spider-Man was programmed. They were using different colored Spider-Man masks to program your child to murder, where Elsa and Spider-Man were having sex, then killing their parents, getting drunk, and killing other children with broken glass from the bottles. And this was a animated thing.
Yeah, the dentistry stuff that you guys mentioned last week, like before I got on, that's the stuff where I'm like, no. I mean, all of it, but that's the one that sticks out in my mind is the really gnarly, like, we got to remove teeth, and then they do it, and they're like bleeding everywhere. It's so,
and the screaming and all that stuff. Yeah. And there's another one, like I was talking about the Spider-Man mask. You'd be shown a blue Spider-Man mask, and they would show you blueberries, and then they'd show you a yellow Spider-Man mask, and they'd show you like sunflowers, and they show you the red Spider-Man mask, and it would cut to a video of an adult man punching a boy in the face with Hulk hands. And that's the video.
Mess with your mind.
You just leave that on for your kid when in the crib. You put them in there to like chill out and put the Spider-Man color mask videos on, and you go off on your business. Meanwhile, your kid's being programmed every time he sees a red Spider-Man mask to punch somebody or expect to be punched. And that's what's out there. And it's one of those the pee games and needles. Yep, that's again. So even if it's curated, you have to wonder, like, how long do they sit through the videos submitted? Does every video uploaded to YouTube Kids get a human visual confirmation on every last frame going through it? No. It has the same algorithmic limits, and you have to select, is it made for children or if it's not. When I upload every video to this channel, it asks me, is this made for children or if it's not. If I say, yes, it's made for children, it goes over to YouTube Kids. It does not get ads on it, or the ad system's different. You can't comment, and there's no live chat. And it's a different system over there, but it's still not human verified second for second. There's no way to do that right now. And even when the AI gets through, it's not going to know what the new trick is. It's going to know that Elsa and Spider-Man shouldn't be having sex, but what if they're listening to Hail Satan rock and roll? Is the AI going to understand that playing Led Zeppelin backwards with Spider-Man and Elsa getting red skin on their face as that happening, terrorizing children? Is the AI going to understand that that's bad? Probably not for a little while, until a human comes along and tells it that's bad.
But then by the time it gets told it's bad, the bad guys have 700 other different ways. You know, they're 400 steps ahead of these guys.
Right, and that's the problem. And see, Thor, the guy over at Pirate Software, he used to work for Blizzard. He talks about this, that there are people wholly and entirely dedicated to filling any social space on the internet with corruption, traumatizing material, gore, porn, anything at all that will cause you a miserable time. So it's not like it's just going to go away because we gave kids a space of their own. There will be people that figure out how to break into that. And now I'm not trying to punish you for your idea. I'm just saying they tried it and they found a way through. You have to remember, we're also dealing with hostile governments. It's not just some dick in a garage fucking around with the internet. You've actually got like the Chinese government dedicated to putting out programming that's anti-American. We put out programming that's anti-China. So it's like, it's just a tennis racket thing, but our media is very pungent here. Whereas in China, they discourage media addiction. I don't know if you know this or not. There was a huge controversy going on last week about games, the TOS. It says it can log you out of the game if you play it too long. Your XP will be shut off after you play the game too long. Well, that's not for the West. That's just for China, Korea, and Japan that have laws that will either forcibly log you out of the game if you play it too long, or stop you from collecting XP points, trophies, or any type of progression in the game until you log off for several hours. And that's the people were freaking out that there's a legal apparatus now to log you out of your game. Even though it doesn't apply to them, that's just how this is spreading is the thing, is what I'm getting at, is how this is spreading out. And so as we have these overlapping medias and stuff like that, we're going to have these governments reaching through and corrupting our youth as much as they can. Look at TikTok. It's Weebwo?
Weibo? Yeah, I think that's
Weibo,
what it is.
yeah, I think that's what it is over there. That's their TikTok, and that TikTok is just totally dedicated to education and like uplifting memes, positive memes, patriotic memes. It censors everything else. And again, it's not it. There's hundreds of people in a warehouse, the 50 Cent Army, the Wu Mao Army, that go through and patrol all of this. WeChat over there gets the same thing. You post a video of Xi Jinping falling down the stairs, it gets deleted in seconds, and your cat's dead.
No, dude, your family is that. Let's be completely real.
That's true.
If you get
The
a
whole
video
family.
of that, yeah,
But
if you get a video of that, it's over.
Yeah, your whole bloodline's getting wiped out. You're right. That's true. They'll dig up your relatives and cast them into the sea. Yeah,
I was gonna say they'll go into like the old like scroll records from like ancient Han China and like, erase your family from it.
Yeah, they'll go into the Mormon record and find you. The Mormon record.
Yikes!
I mean the only true record of history on this planet.
I do. The Tim Waltz stream. What's that, Nerdigans?
Spencer, I'm not gonna lie. The first thing I thought of when you mentioned that is the family registry that's being made in Kingdom. In the Kingdom.
Oh yeah. No, that's what I was thinking of too. Like they'll go back and they'll go to those registries and they'll just erase your old, like your great grandpa. He's gone. They're getting you at the source.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go read the Kingdom manga and you will thank us for it.
Well, Kingdom manga, really good manga about warfare in ancient Japan. So it's just
or
at
ancient
this point
China, you mean?
Or yeah, sorry, ancient China. It's a manga from Japan. That's where I flipped myself up. But yeah, right now they're doing like they show you the intricacies of how the systems work back then. And so yeah, there's one part where they do a whole. They're like, we got to start a family registry. Let's get this thing going.
Yeah, to get the because there's not enough troops.
Yeah.
Because they lost a lot of troops when they attempted to invade Zhao and it failed, and they had to do a family registry to regroup basically to get all the men in kin. But the arc right now for the Han invasion is so good.
So
it's really good.
It's genius.
The Tim Waltz World of Warcraft stream ended. And
oh boy,
I want to play you the first few seconds of it here, so you get an idea of what the intention was, because we can't go back on Twitch until it's over with. So here we go.
All right, welcome to the Tim Waltz Game Day stream. My name is Preheat. I'm a full-time content creator, and today I'm volunteering for the Waltz Eris campaign. So you're probably surprised to see World of Warcraft on the Vice President's Twitch channel, but we are looking to bring a new style of campaign rally to Twitch.
So this was a campaign rally. This was not intended to be him sitting at the computer doing crazy stunts in World of Warcraft. This was meant always to have a live feed into the Arizona rally while somebody just like Subway Surfers on the side.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Cider. I was like, this setup is just Twitch streaming with the Subway Surfers on the side and the Family Guy funny moments. Like,
yep.
It's so bad.
So here we go. Listen to what he calls him.
With the coach himself, Tim, W's in chat, Waltz.
All right, I'm done. I can't. It's over with. W's in the chat, Waltz. Okay,
fellow kids, what's up? Yo, W's in chat, Waltz.
Yeah, only 407 votes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the people they bust in for that rally totaled more than that. So
they only managed, at least when we were looking at it earlier, they were only up like 5K. Like they only had 5,000 viewers, which is abysmal for that like if you're supposed to be making a statement.
Well, not only that, but consider that you're a vice presidential candidate in like the third most populous country in the world. It's like, maybe now I want to see Trump and Barron playing old Wii tennis, like the original Wii tennis in the living room, and have like 40 million people just watching them going boop, boop, back and forth at each other, just dead silence.
I don't even, yeah, even better. Just like,
you hear Trump occasionally say, "Oh, that was a good one."
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one, Baron. That's a good one. Oh wow, what a great game! My favorite game.
He's playing Wii Golf and he says, "You see, I could even do it in virtual reality." And
I should get one of these for Air Force One. This is great.
Yeah, exactly. Like, could you still buy these? Do they sell these still?
Yeah.
They get the Switch 2 comes out, but it's the Switch Trump. They find out that Trump likes playing the motion track games. They call it the Switch Trump.
Dude, no, they'll do the Switch 2, and then he'll release like a special Trump edition one that's like $700,000. Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's just gold, just solid gold. That's all. You can't even play it. It's just gold. But
God, I gotta tell you,
amazing.
the Twitch campaign is cringier than the. It's cringier than maybe it's not as cringier than the furries for Kamala that I saw on Twitter before we started.
Well, was that official though, or is that just a group?
Official.
I don't think it's official because
I don't think it's official.
but
no.
This is
explaining
official.
to do.
That's why I'm like, I don't think it's as cringy as that. But this was just fun. This was just funny. I was telling Cider about this before we started. Is that there was a Trump supporter furry in the QRTs of this one tweet, and they got dogpiled by the rest of the Kamala supporting furries.
Oh, there's more. Wow. But speaking of official, it is that
Category 5 hurricane that could wipe out furries.
Just that.
Only furries specifically target them.
Right. Right. Okay. We've been a little bit long in this. I meant to do that a little earlier. I'm very sorry. I got wound up with all the weird things happening with Ranma. If you don't know, I don't know how you would know. The 5th most powerful earthquake, hurricane in Atlantic history, in Atlantic Ocean history, has slammed into Florida. It hit with sustained winds of over 120 miles per hour, and that's basically enough force to just rip the roof right off your house. We watched footage. I watched footage of a gas station simply losing the overhang. Just sucked it right off. Just zoop, gone, and then all that was left was the post. Didn't take the gas pumps. Just took the roof. It was gone. It's also given birth to several tornadoes around the region due to the wind speeds encountering the slower wind speeds on the land. So that's happening. That people are just experiencing these quick little tornadoes that come. They're not little. These huge tornadoes that just show up out of nowhere thanks to the air pressure shifting. So if you're already helping with Helene, if you're already helping with what happened with the disaster associated with that, we thank you very much. We'd also encourage that anybody who would like to donate food or blankets. I don't recommend donating money. We kind of already know what happens when you donate money. Yeah. So I would recommend donating food, donating blankets, things that are a little harder to make disappear than a dollar bill. So just consider it when you're out of the
people in the upper level of our government don't necessarily want to steal.
Right. They're not. Bush's baked beans, probably not high on the list of BlackRock's assets to collect. But, you do know. You never know.
Try donating stuff that won't end up on the dark web. That'll be a good start.
Yeah. Like organs. Yeah. Don't donate those. But, well, actually, you should do that. Sorry. But we do have a super
how do we know they're going to hospitals? That's my question.
Like in the tub, like that one Will Smith movie that wasn't funny. But
yeah, you got to narrow down from that.
I was gonna say which one.
Yeah,
Gemini Man.
So we have McKinney Draws here, and they send a super sticker, and it's a waving Shiba Inu,
waving
Japanese
sheep.
dog.
I'll take waving sheep. I love sheeps.
All right. But speaking of Japanesey things, I did want to bring this up now that Spencer's here. We do have, it's that time of the year. It is time for the Super Sentai rumor mill to start rearing it to life.
Oh,
and
boy.
We have a tentative...
It's already that time. That's right. Boom. Oh, man.
Boom Boonger's coming to an end.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
The time
and so
Boom Boonger was all right. It was fine. I don't know. I didn't really have that much fun with it.
I don't think so. I think it's one of those ones that's hit or miss every episode, and the suits are always a miss for me. But,
yeah, same here.
So we now have what's happening next, and it looks to be the ancient beasts, foot soldiers, kind of mingled up thing. So as usual, you're going to end up with heroes that have a typical color makeup. Only this time, however, it's rumored that the Black Ranger will be a female. The first time in the series history outside of Gokaiger with the transformations. So we'll see
those
a
don't,
female.
the key transformations don't count.
Right. The legend transformation. So what we're looking at now is also that we're looking at the present name being Gozyuger. That's Gozyuger. Gozyuger. And they will be based off of they'll be based off of ancient mammals, meaning they will not be dinosaurs, but they will be the primordial creatures. So the era of the saber-tooth, the era of the giant lion, the era of the true mastodon, not the dinosaur.
Yeah.
So we're not sure.
I kind of dig that. I kind of dig that theme. You could go really weird with it too, like plesiosaur, or you know, like weren't like meerkats around back then or something?
Yeah, a lot of middle-sized mammalian creatures were around there too, and so that appears to be the theme. The foot soldiers, the bad guys that you're going to encounter, appear to are going to be using knives. So this is
so they're British,
confusing.
all right. Our first British Sentai team. Congratulations, Britain, for your representation.
It is a bit strange, I'll tell you that. So I'm not quite sure what they're doing. But again, when we first found out about the foot soldiers in Tokuger, whatever, the one with the trains. And when we first found out, they said they had top hats, and that was like, really? So the dance routine, that's the bad guys. And they did have a dance routine, but they were really creepy looking. It was like Slender Man, but like he went to the Ritz. And so that's what's going on with that. So we're not clear yet, but that's the rumor mill for Super Sentai. And this last week we got Kamen Rider Valen, aka Kamen Rider Hershey Treat.
Chocolate.
Yeah. And
there's only one part of this that I truly like. There's only one thing I like about this suit, and that's when he rips off the foil. Everything else is sort of weird.
We can't play the audio, obviously, because this is from the show. But
in Japan, when you do Japan things, they get on you. Like they don't. There's no mercy when it comes to like YouTube in Japan and anime, or Toku or anything.
Anything really. They don't do fair use laws there.
No.
And so what you are looking at a man being covered in chocolate, not sewage. By the way, they did not make that very clear.
I know. I saw that and I was like, oh man, that's too bad. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. So he is surrounded by chocolate. The chocolate then separates, flies through the air, separates again, then reattaches because somebody somewhere breaks apart their chocolate with the foil still on it like a psychopath. And then
maybe it's a Japanese thing. Maybe they're so polite that they like individually unwrap chocolate as they're going. They don't do like we do where we just rip it out.
And that's just it's a little much for me. I don't know. I'm not into it. The chocolate suit is annoying too. I find it it's not exciting. Let's put it that way. It's not exciting. And what moreover annoys me about it is that it's chocolate. When I am thinking of a tortured character, because this character has a very dark past.
This is our Shadow for this season.
Yeah, this is Shadow, absolutely. And that's exactly it. Yeah, we are dealing with Shadow and Sonic. They're just hungry. Yeah, hungry hedgehogs. That's what we're dealing with. And but this character is very tortured. I don't think of chocolate when that comes up. And speaking of very dark things, though, that are maybe not so appropriate.
Jacob, how's it going?
No. The new trend in Power Ranger fan movies is to invent the murder Power Ranger.
Oh my gosh, dude, this clip is so dumb. Oh my gosh.
They have the fight choreography of a high school stage play. That's they took like 10 minutes to figure this out. Really appreciate that.
You probably shouldn't have had the second. I gotta go back for a second. I gotta go back just a couple seconds. Maybe when he's fighting the one guy, don't have the other guy in the shot, so it doesn't look like he's just standing there watching his friend get beat up very slowly.
He's got this any minute now. Oh, okay. I guess he hasn't got it. Nah, it's my turn. Yeah. And he just reaches over and grabs that guy's
Oh my
arm.
god,
He's
this is
"No,
like
that's cool."
the Detroit safety video guy that we were
Yes,
talking
yes,
about
it
just a couple
is.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
This is what fights look like when you're in dreams.
Yes, everything's a little slow.
I don't know what kind of dreams you're having, man, but I am way more kick-ass than this.
For those who don't know what we're looking at, this is a new fan film that just got added to Tubi called The Last Ranger. And
oh my god.
Exactly. It is everything you think it is going to be. Cider shared this clip with me a couple days ago, and I lost it. Like, I was laughing for an hour. It's so ridiculous. This looks like the dude from Mortal Kombat. The
This is
new
like
one who played
if
Jax.
Neil Breen decided to do a Power Rangers movie.
Yeah, it is. That's the exact. He punches him in the chest. You hear "pang" like it's metal because the Power Rangers have always wore plate metal. You know, not spandex.
Ding!
He broke his
Spandex
hand,
isn't cool.
and then he
But
headbutts him with the helmet, and the fight's over.
You broke my shield. Now I'm gonna break your life.
I love the bullet holes there because the set is clearly at an angle, but they just pasted the bullet holes.
They look like Neo bullets that he stopped in midair, but they crunched rather than just stopped.
yeah.
You know, they crunched. and
Somebody's like, "Wow, this Beetleborgs
morphin'
reboot
time.
looks lit."
he's just gonna wave his hand. It's morphin' time. And all the bullets
This is what
fall.
somebody at Hasbro saw this and they were like, "Oh, this is better than that kitty stuff. This is going to be a series now. Watch this coming to the CW."
And of course, because it's a bunch of black people, is going to be like Rick Ross or DMX in the background in the music.
Yeah. Right.
Well, now you've already sold me. You don't need to keep going.
So, how do I rate the Power Rangers fandom? I rate it at like life support. If you saw Power Morphicon this year, you saw a funeral dirge. There were so many people who were just robbed of life going there because it had been a tradition, and there was nothing. Boom Studios had the biggest announcement, and their biggest announcement was, "We're putting the chick in it, and we're making her gay, and we're making it lame." And that's Power Rangers Prime. Woohoo!
And then
There we
everyone
are.
walked out like LeBron with his little man purse.
Yep. Well, and Meteor Advocate Timon says this. He says, "This is what happened to Metal Heroes, to Kitty, then Oblivion." Well, this is the problem with this kitty stuff, right? Is that when you get real deal with the Power Rangers, it kind of falls apart because you can't retain what a power. Let me just preface this. If this was not the red Tyrannosaurus Ranger, if this was a new Power Ranger that was completely new, that was dressed up with cop theming, perhaps, that was dressed up sort of 0070 with lots of stealthy things, maybe some spikes, but it's the red Power Ranger. So you're thinking of all this, remember to drink your milk and do your homework on time and don't cause your parents trouble or I'll break your neck. It's just, the tone is completely wrong. And that's the biggest failing here, is that Power Rangers on its face is not supposed to be about murder. I get that they kill a monster in every episode.
Power
They stab
Rangers
it to
in the
death.
ghetto.
Yeah.
All Black
RP
Ranger team.
Go get
RPM
our
is a little different
Rangers.
though. RPM is has a lot of killing though, so that's a little bit different.
Well, but the killing in that one is meant to be more symbolic. We see a lot of torture in that one too. Forced human conversion to machine. There's a lot of that one. But that was a really heavy version. This one is out and out having a Power Ranger snap a man's neck. And so that on a green screen. And so it just shocked me. So I just wanted to bring that up, that while Japan's over here still trying to engage with children and try to encourage like a better society, they're trying to make chocolate look like it could kill somebody. It can only kill dogs, really. But that was the other thing. The enemy.
Doggy Cruiser!
Well, no, that enemy that the chocolate guy was fighting was a dog enemy. So
Yes,
the
he
chocolate
was.
kills the dog. They're like that in Japan.
I see it.
They're like
I
that in
see
Japan.
it.
Yeah, and so that's just I don't like the Killer Ranger thing. Go ahead and make a new Power Ranger. Don't try to tell me that that Zordon's technology, that this floating head space wizard's technology is snapping people's necks. Don't do that.
It's the same thing It's the same thing we always see with like DC or superheroes. It's like people grow up and they don't understand that things are supposed to be certain. Like that's for a certain demographic. That's for that. This is the point of this series. They just see it as media franchise. And so they go, what do I want to see as an adult in media franchise? Blood and guts and gore and lots of killing. And like, they think that's mature. Right. And so that's where we end up with The Last Ranger. That's where we end up with Man of Steel. And so we end up with Batman branding people in prison after they're already like sentenced.
There's gonna be like a old man Logan version of like Power Rangers. They'll find some old Johnny Cash song to play in the trailer.
Dude, they already brought. You watched it. It's called once in whatever, the stupid one where Billy came back and they.
No, it was Son of the Dragon, Soul of the Dragon. Remember that one?
Poor Catherine out there looking like a PTA mom, still trying to be a Power Ranger.
Yeah,
none of that. The only one who looks good is Walter Jones, and that's because black don't crack. Like that, he's the only person who still looks okay.
And Rocky, all things considered, has aged pretty well.
Actually, yeah, like, I do like Rocky.
Are you sure
Rocky
Steve Cardenas was a whole other Ranger heavier than him? Like, there's no way that's the same guy in the suit. I know it's not, but they're not even trying. That guy's like 50-year-old Rocky body, okay? Like, he's just a keg in the middle. It's all muscle. But that isn't 5'2"
he does have
guy.
like the kind of like retired fireman like vibe going on right
now.
Yeah,
like they nailed the casting of him being a firefighter a little too hard, little too much chili championship with good old Rocky. But speaking of adding things that don't belong to media, I see we have this brand new story up here at boundingintocomics.com.
Yeah,
the
check
website.
this out. So we finally officially have gotten our first real official look at Star Wars's first ever transgender clone trooper, which so this character was introduced 2 years ago in a novel, only appeared in that or in 2 novels. That's the only places she's appeared so far. Introduced as transgender, just that's all her personality is like, I'm transgender. There's no backstory to her. It's just like, oh, I met the Jedi. Hey, Jedi, can I tell you that I'm transgender? Like, it's really just sort of like it's written for social media. But the more embarrassing part about all of this is that when this character was created by author E.K. Johnston, the author commissioned fan art. Like, she's like, this is what I want the character to look like. And all they really did was dress up their armor in the transgender flag colors. So they have, it's a clone trooper armor with like red, purple, or not red, like purple, pink, and I think it's the next picture. You can, or after that one. Yeah, see, there was the first ever. She was like, "This is fan art. This is what I want the character to look
she's
like."
Black.
Yeah, of course.
She's
Well,
black.
I mean, she's Django. That's what she's Django.
You're what? Oh yeah, clone. Right.
Yeah, she's a clone. She's a clone.
I was
I
was seriously like, holy
that's not Django transitioning. It's a clone trooper of Django.
So we got Michelle Obama Stormtrooper. That's what we have now. This is what we're dealing with.
Captain Mike.
She looks more like the fighter that everybody was up in arms about during the Olympics. I totally am blanking on her name or whatever. The boxer. You guys all know who I'm talking about. That's who she looks like to me. But yeah, so that was
George Foreman's daughter.
I don't know.
George Floyd.
No, she's too short.
George
Foreman's daughter is Georgina Foreman. Okay.
Now you've sold me. Now you sold me. George Floyd as a transgender stormtrooper. Now I'm sold. I'm all
get us true representation here, Disney. If you really want to put your money where your mouth is.
You remember Georgina Floyd from the other chat?
Oh
there. Yeah. I wish she would come over here and hang out with us. Like, Georgina Floyd's a riot. But the best of us, Georgina Floyd.
Yep.
But this scares me. This scares me because
here's my. I mean, like, aren't the stormtroopers supposed to be like the bad guys? Like,
there it is. That's what I'm trying to say. Exactly.
And then the other thing is like, or wouldn't the Empire be like so evil that they would just like kill people like this out of spite? Like, wouldn't that fit more of their character? I'd be like, I don't know about this one.
You would think. But instead, all the clone troopers go, we accept you. We're giving you a new name of sister. And then all the Jedi go, no, you're totally cool. Like, Again,
Right.
this is what they do.
Here's our new stormtrooper class of 2024, and all of a sudden, like It's Raining Men start playing in the background.
I would. Okay, now you have me sold. I'll watch that clip. But yeah, this is the same thing. Like transgender activists always do when they want representation. They go for the like ones that really have implications they don't think about, like the ones that are abused, the ones who are medically experimented on.
Yeah, like R.C. You remember that?
R.C.? R.C. the Transformer. The Transformer.
It was revealed that there are no female Transformers. They were all the ones that are female presenting were forced that way by an Autobot like Mengele.
It's like that. It's Gren in Cowboy Bebop, who wasn't supposed to be trans, just he got subjected to like hormone treatment, so he grew like boobs, and everybody went, yes, finally anime represents us. And it's like, I don't think you guys truly think about the implications here. So like I pointed this out in this article specifically because I came across the same thought process where it's like, all right, if I'm in their position and I'm going, yes, look at our new clone trooper. Well, clone troopers, all clone troopers come from the same batch. So unless your batch, that batch of clone troopers was transgender, which means there was something wrong with the process, like that means you're saying being transgender is a completely social idea, and you can just choose to be, which is like the opposite of what they always like, which like the common rhetoric, right? So it's the latest instance of we want to be right and good in this moment. Doesn't really matter what happened in the past. Doesn't really matter what it means for the future.
So I just
so now we have black trans stormtroopers who can't shoot, who are bad, who no redeeming quality. so this what we're okay. Yeah, sure, fine, whatever.
And like that's the thing too, right? Is like that's a really good point that Jacob just made me remember. Is like we see Finn in the sequel trilogy, and like those are stormtroopers, and they explain like, oh yeah, we don't use clones anymore. We actually just recruit people. These are the clone troopers. These are the ones that are programmed to systematically kill all the Jedi. Why are you putting a heroic face? Well, I mean, obviously we know that if this character ever shows up in anything again, they're probably going to be like, oh, she didn't obey the orders and was one of the good ones and helped Obi-Wan escape from wherever that I forget what planet.
Among breaking the conditioning from Palpatine's programming camps, I also broke the binary conditioning.
No, that's okay. At first, I was just doing the like, I'm so strong, I'm breaking the conditioning thing. Like, that's what I think they're going to do. But then when you brought that up, they're probably going to do something like remember in Doctor Who, when they were like, if only you were a male presenting doctor, then you could let these energies go, right? Like, that's what they're going to do.
Presenting doctor. That's why you don't understand. That remember they said, you don't understand it because you're a male presenting
doctor. So it'll be that exact thing. They'll be like, "Whoa, sister, how did you come to save us?" And she'll be like, "Oh, because I'm different because I didn't buy into the
because
main clone trooper raising.
That's
why I didn't get it." So who knows what this even means, right? Like,
I just imagine this, right? You got Jango Fett in the sperm collection department there on Camino. And he's tossing one cup into the microwave, saying, "This one's gonna be gay."
Like that's the thing. Is like it doesn't. He like
bad
calls,
bitch batch.
He calls like the Kaminoans, and he's like, "I have a special one for you. Just take this one sperms, and
This is the Rainbow Legion."
A rainbow suited stormtrooper legion would be way cooler than this awful design we have right here. Like this is just bad.
That's the thing. Think about this, okay? I'm sorry, I've been life. So the stormtroopers in the Clone Trooper show, right? They were customizing their outfits, they were customizing their appearance because they were struggling with being clones. Now we know this in our own military history that dudes customize their rides, they customize their uniforms. Each unit ends up taking on their own personality despite however long they've been serving together. So when these guys customize their uniforms, they're usually things like they survived a battle, it's a nickname, There's a certain color associated with their
With
attitude.
your unit or your
Right.
unit or whatever, right? Yeah.
Everybody's got the same red t-shirt that they wear, black shirts for the black shirt army, if you will. And so repping the colors. So this right here, right? My only personality trait is that I'm trans. That's what this says. That is all that I am. And everything about me, all the battles I fought, the brothers I've lost, it all amounted to me cutting my dick off. And that's all that uniform says.
Imagine being like a fellow stormtrooper, like reading this like propaganda video that the Empire has created, and then they just turn around and they look at each other and be like, "Are we the baddies?" Like,
and then when you're completing your hormone treatment, I want you to complete Order 60 Dicks.
Like, they also forget this too, because I don't know why 60 Dicks just made me remember this.
You're welcome.
But thank you very much. There's this part about the cloning process in Star Wars where, like, when you clone them, they only have a certain shelf life before they go absolutely bonkers. Some of them are more resilient the closer they were to like the first batches of Jango like clones, but the more they went on, the more the instability arose, and that's why they moved over to stormtroopers. So again, this is just, you're picking the worst things. You're picking someone who like is destined to go insane and not be happy. Like, God, what are you doing?
Order Snipty Dick. That's right. It's Order Snipty Dick.
Order 69, bro.
Do it.
Do it in front of me.
So we do have a member chat, though.
I want to watch.
Yeah, take that.
We have Shay's helicopter tours. Remember, for 39 months, putting up with things like that, has this to say: they ham-fisted one of the Sky clans in Forbidden West to cater to the trans mafia. So it's disingenuous. That would be Cyberpunk 2077. And
yeah, please
Legacy.
clarify what CP means in the context of the story.
Seems forced. It seems forced. Yeah, it all is. The DEI programming has to be pushed through. It's what BlackRock explained. They were going to use their influence to change behaviors. And that's how you do it. You take what's familiar and you transform it into the foreign and then insist it's still familiar. And that's how you transform people's attitudes. It's very simple. Pinochet's Helicopter Tours for $2 also says all those games, it's the same journey too. And that's true. Like, the bittersweet reality of Star Wars is that it's never going to really be any more entertaining than what happens with the Skywalkers. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sure the books were really great. I'm sure people have great memories of The Apprentice in Force Unleashed.
Oh, oh my gosh, he has such a Star Killer.
Star Killer, yeah. I was gonna call him the Death Star, but
I was like, I know he has a stupidly edgy name. What is it?
Yeah.
I was gonna go. My first was Death Killer.
Right, Death Killer. Yeah, exactly. That's right up the line. So anyway, Star Killer, which again fits into the Skywalker situation, but it's never going to be any more exciting than there. And I get it. There's plenty of other more exciting things I'm sure that happened in the books. But as far as the populace is going to sit through an explanation, a run-up, they're not going to explore any new Star Wars. They're just not. You see that with the Acolyte. It didn't matter. Look, you understand that you wave a lightsaber in front of most people who are, hi, how are you, normies? They're just regular cubicle normies. They're going to love it. They don't care. They don't have time to think about all the weird stuff that's happening around that lightsaber waving. They don't. They're just like, wow, that was really weird that Trinity is suddenly a Jedi and gets aced by a kitchen knife, but whatever. We're on to the next scene. And that's it. They may talk about it at the water cooler, but that's it. And that demonstrates that they're not going to tolerate, the general audience isn't going to tolerate an expanded story about Star Wars. It's the same thing with Dragon Ball. It's the same thing with One Piece. It's the same thing with RoboCop. This new RoboCop show they're coming up with is going to be total ass because you cannot expand on that story. Alex Murphy being transformed into a robot and then reclaiming his humanity in the most agonizing pace possible. Okay?
Like, that's the story.
That's it. There's not like RoboCop's misadventures with law enforcement. That's not people don't want to sit through that. That's funny in the movie because it only lasts for a couple minutes.
Right.
Making a whole
Especially
season about him
because-
fucking up is not going to keep people around.
No, it's gonna turn them all off immediately because, like you said, yeah, they didn't sign up for this. This is not what the property is supposed to be.
Right. Yeah, they brought that to Star Wars. You're absolutely right. They brought that to Star Wars. You know, and like Claire from Cyberpunk, Horizon Zero Dawn Clan, the Hogwarts Legacy. It's the same storyline, the same message. Yeah, it's a trans monolith. They want to introduce these concepts as uniformly as possible. So once again, you transform the normal into the abnormal and then insist that it's normal. It's been that way all along. It's what Nerdigans was talking about with Ranma earlier.
Yeah.
They have taken the familiar with Ranma being doused with water and changing into a different form that is female. Sure, that's great, but that's not a man becoming a woman. That's a curse. That's meant to be comedic. That's meant to be inconvenient for him. That's not a spiritual transformation into a woman that fulfills his lifelong desire to live as a woman. That's not, it's a joke. And they don't get it.
It's the revisionist history that they're trying to pull and say it's a trans allegory.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that's what Cider's saying, is that it's not, you're just reading, again, ignoring all context just to adopt the 3 seconds of the media that agrees with your message. Because again, you investigate what these characters representing you really means, and it's not a great look.
Leslie brings this up. Let's not forget they called R2-D2 a lesbian. And I know that just kind of glances off, like a lot of people like, oh, yeah, that's a really dumb thing. But just, these are people who wrote Star Wars. Right, but again, like how? He's the only character that actually demonstrates having a phallus. He literally does the whole screwdriver plug into the Death Star. He's the only character that has a dick.
I'm probably going to be a buzzkill, but like I never thought that those two were actually saying R2-D2 is gay. Like that has been a joke forever. Like it's in The Simpsons. I used to make jokes when I was like 10 that C-3PO was gay. So like I thought that was just them joking around. I get why people reacted to it because of who they are, but I was like, this is very.
But no, as we've also seen though, like things like that start as jokes sadly become reality after a while once everyone starts buying into it. I mean, look how we got the Velma series that just got canceled not too long ago. I mean, that's
violently canceled.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you're right, Spencer. That it's a joke. I understand that absolutely. I'm not trying to interpret that as like they're literally going to make him into a lesbian. I just found it funny to choose that character
of all characters.
The only one, not even Luke or Han demonstrate that they actually have a penis in their pants.
Really good point.
The only character that has a phallus in that entire franchise they chose to be the lesbian. That's really strange.
And guess what? That strong male representation, they Jake Skywalkered him too. They put him in like stasis. They shut him off until Rey had to get his help.
Right. A woman had to bring the lesbian to life. The lesbian droid with a penis. R2-D2's trans. There it is. R2-D2's trans.
It's coming. Or they'll make a droid. They'll make a toy that they sell at Disneyland. That's all rainbow, and they'll say like this is a trans droid, and then it'll make its way into a comic and then into a movie. And then they can go, oh, see, I'm just honoring the canon. And it's like, but what canon are you honoring?
So we have Bowsette here.
Fan one.
Yeah, right. The headcanon again. The headcanon strikes back. But we have Bowsette here. It says C-3PO is just a C-3PO just has a posh voice. That's why people called him gay. Now,
the British are gay. Apparently,
all of them.
I mean, they are, but objectively,
that's exactly what it means.
But I just want to say, like in the original Lucas concept, he was supposed to be a used car salesman, and every now and then, I want British, posh, squirmy little C-3PO to try selling me a Honda. And look, I just wanted to slap the roof of the Honda.
Bernie Mac is the best part of the first Transformers movie, so I think there's potential here.
I say, sir, the car chooses the driver.
I say you must know that the car finds the driver.
Yeah, right? You give him the hat, like Bernie Mac's little fedora bucket hat thing. Right? And it keeps sliding off, though, because it's metal, so it's like sliding around all the time when he's talking.
And dude, no, they should get like that hat, but then you see like very obvious like bolt like marks where they like bolted it to his head.
Yeah, British butler. Yeah, he's modeled after the British butler. Yeah, is this supposed to kind of be like, if Alfred didn't know karate, I guess. So, but that's again. Did anybody else hear that Kraft ad? Okay.
No,
there's an ad playing in my ear somewhere. I don't know where it's coming from.
I hate when that happens.
Somewhere in the world, I am being told about Kraft singles right now.
They know you need to go stock up on mac and cheese.
Oh, did you guys see
None
that?
of my tabs.
Oh.
I gotta fix this. Hold on.
I know. I wish there was an option where it was like you can just go like see which windows specifically are doing audio instead of looking at the tabs. I know I'm not explaining it right, but I run into this every day and it bugs me. Like I'll hit play and then, or go ahead, Nerdigans. Yeah, I'm just rambling.
Well, did you guys see that Overwatch is going to be on mobile now?
I literally just saw that, and I'm like, why? What are?
That's what I was thinking too.
The game is long past any, not even its heyday. That game is long past its relevance in general. So this feels really, really, really desperate. This feels like they are trying so hard to be like, come on, don't you like Overwatch? Please come play Overwatch. We need people to play Overwatch. Like Blizzard's dying, and this is what they're backing is mobile Overwatch. I don't know. It's so dumb.
Mobile Watch.
And I mean, like, well, Fortnite's about to come back onto the iOS within the next like 2 years. So once that's there, nobody is going to go to Overwatch.
Well,
kids do not want Overwatch. They want the mines. They want to work again.
It's true. The banana man always wins. But there's two things to remember here, okay? So there's two things. One, the mobile market just is completely enormously outsized compared to a console and PC. And again, because the threshold is so much lower. Everybody has a phone in their pocket. But now, phones have become powerful enough to run a game like Overwatch. Maybe not for a long time without charging it, but it can run the game now. And that should be the really gigantic kind of takeaway from this, is that you can play Overwatch on your phone now. Like the Switch had a big deal about being able to take, Breath of the Wild with you, Tears of the Kingdom with you, walk around with it. Now you're going to have Overwatch on the same phone you got Snapchat, same phone that you've got TikTok on.
I have one theoretical pushback, and let me run it by you guys. I'm not completely confident in it, but this is sort of what ran through my head. So yeah, you're right, Cider. That would be super impressive if Overwatch 2, which is just what it is now, there's no other version, but if that game could run on your phone, that would be impressive. But I noticed here, at least in all the news headlines, that they're calling it Overwatch Mobile. Now, I don't know if that's just them referring to it as the mobile version or if it's going to be like a mobile specific version, but
that makes more sense.
Right. But knowing Blizzard, I can kind of see them going, oh yeah, this is the mobile Overwatch, and there's no crossover. There's no anything like that.
Yeah, it'll behave more like Genshin. Will probably be what it'll do, is it'll behave like Genshin. So you'll get your heroes through a gacha function. Right, you won't, and then you'll raise them up from there, raise up their stuff, and you'll travel around the RPG level of Overwatch, learning the story of Overwatch. So that way they don't have to program all the game mechanics into it, and all of your fights will be PvE, player versus environment.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, probably.
NPC.
Everyone. Yeah.
So it won't be PvP on the mobile version because that's way too powerful. Unless they turn it into a card game. And I will laugh my ass off if Overwatch Mobile is a card game like Heartforge.
Like Hearthstone.
Hearthstone, that's what it is, like Hearthstone.
They're just going to make Hearthstone, but whatchamacallit, give it a new skin.
They just copy-paste the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Masters Unleashed one there, the Duel Unleashed one. They just copy-paste that whole mechanic in there, that's it. That'd be great. But yeah, that's what... Oh, excuse me. We have a $2 super chat from a member of the channel, Pinochet's Helicopter Tours.
Tony!
He says, Overwatch Immortal, do you still not have phones? Yeah.
No, that's actually pretty apt. I think they're gonna do like Overwatch Immortal. Do you not have phones? And then when all of us reject it, they'll just be like, fine, we're gonna go to China. But China doesn't want them either. So they're not. All of these companies need new leadership because nobody understands what the current environment is, what people actually want anymore.
There's one guy that does, though. There is one.
Who's
guy.
that?
Well, that would be the CEO
Jacob.
of Saber Interactive.
Oh yeah.
Jacob does get it, but he's not the CEO of Saber Interactive. This fella.
Yeah.
As soon as I remember to scroll. So here we go.
So yeah, in case you guys did not see this story from yesterday, the CEO of Saber Interactive, which is the studio that made Space Marines 2, he basically gave a really in-depth interview to IGN where he was talking about the current state of the industry. And he basically I wouldn't say tore them a new one, but very methodically explained, like, look, all of you guys are expanding beyond your means. You thought that the boom of COVID would last forever. It's not. What did you expect? So he's very aware of what the environment, what the industry, what the market looks like now. And in reflection of that, as you can see, what I highlighted here in the headline is that he is of the strong belief that middle range games or middle market games are going to have a huge comeback. And I have to agree. And by middle market games, he means, right now, those are the games that typically sell for 30 or 40. They give you a couple hours, like maybe 12 hours of gameplay. They have some extra stuff, but they're not the AAA Ubisoft. Here's 4,000 hours of things to look at with with everything motion captured and voice acted. Like, it's not that. So it's more things like Helldivers 2 or Space Marines 2, or there was a game I played last year called Evil West, where you were a cowboy fighting vampires in the Old West.
I remember that.
And it was, did you play it, Cider, or did you see it? Because
yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
because it was basically like an old throwback Gears of War type of game, and I had the most fun with that, more fun than I've had with any open world experience in years. So I do think that is an era we're about to hit, and I think it's for the better, because I'm at least personally of the opinion that when you have limitations, that makes you more creative, right? Like we look at all the games from the past where they had technological limitations or budgetary constraints, and they went, well, we got to work around it somehow. What are we going to do? And it leads them to thinking in, different gameplay styles or different storytelling ways, and you get creativity. Now, when you say you can do anything, that's where you get things like Star Wars Outlaws, where you go, oh, well, we can go open world, and then you can also go get lunch with people. Then you can also play this intricate mini card game, and you can do all these side missions, and you can also fly in space. And it's like, whoa, you're doing too much.
And you could be gay.
Can you? I don't even know. That game is worse off enough that I don't even think any of that stuff's in it. It's just a bad
Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed,
yes.
Joke is that
Assassin's Creed, definitely.
Real people gay if you want. Just do that.
We're bringing headcanons into genuine mechanics. Aren't you guys so excited?
You can enslave a dead black slave to your will across time and space with the new Assassin's Creed Shadows game. That's right. You want to see a black man get butt-fucked against his will? You can make that happen in Assassin's Creed Shadows.
That game is going to sink everything. I can't wait. I'm a little sad that we're going to have to wait another couple months to grab it. Or for it to release, rather.
While we were talking about that trans thing with the Star Wars thing, I was trying to look up the post that I had made about the trans geisha that they'll probably, or like the kabuki person they'll have show up in Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yeah.
There is 100% going to be a cross-dressing prostitute that Yasuke has the option to fall in love with. I promise you, they're not going to lose that one. They're not going to lose that one. They will keep that one hell or high water. They'll keep that one.
Like I would, even if this was the day of the trailer release for Shadows, I would agree with you. Even if we didn't know any of that behind the scenes stuff, I'd be like, yeah, it's a Ubisoft game. Of course that's going to be in there. They can't help themselves. So you'll get, it'll probably be like a side quest journey line where you got to go and learn about this character's past and how oppressed they are for who they are in this time period, which also doesn't really make sense because the West and Asia treated all that stuff way different. So it's bad.
And it also, like, this right here is a good demonstration of it, right? So what he had to say about this, what Karch was talking about with the budget explosions. We have to understand that these budget explosions have more to do with the consultancy groups that they're bringing in than the programmers, than the graphics, than even the writers themselves before the consultants go up their butt sideways. It's these games could probably lose about 20% of their budget if it wasn't dedicated to paying these consultancy groups to come in and tell them they did everything wrong and do it all over again. So,
like, that's the thing, is it's so, we talked about it last week where it's sort of like a mafia protection racket, right? Like, would be a shame if that game of yours got a bunch of negative Kotaku articles about it and a bunch of bad tweets. You might want to hire Sweet Baby. Like, that's what Kim Belair does, the CEO of that company. And I think that's sort of emblematic right here where, yeah, you're right. You can cut way like 20% of your budget out or reduce it by 20% by not going through all of these consultancy companies. But because the industry has been convinced themselves, or rather been suckered into believing that this is the most important thing, they go, okay, we've got all this stuff, but let's make sure that this is okay by social media standards, because nobody has a spine anymore. Everybody is just afraid of 5, maybe a week of haranguing. After that, it's gone. They're yelling at whatever Marvel movie for straight washing whatever headcanon they had. It never lasts.
Yep. And again, what's that?
So
Hit it, Nerdigans.
I don't know, you guys have seen that the Internet Archive has been hacked. I found the people who did it.
Are they bragging?
Yep. They bragged about it, and they did it in the name of, these are LARPers that did it in the name of Palestine. They're straight up. So this is probably a terrorist attack. It's not, these aren't jihadists or anything like that. No, these are straight up slacktivist LARPers that did this. Here, I'll post it in the chat. I can't believe
we believe you. I don't think we really need to delve into it because there's a lot there we don't know. I just know, like, I personally just know it was hacked. I don't know anything about it, but wouldn't be surprised. Everybody's hitting everything for that nowadays.
But yeah, I found it while I was just going through my Twitter feed. It just popped up. I'm like, oh, God damn it. You had to knock over something.
All right. Well, you take care of Zeno. You go take care of whatever he's handling. And yeah, it's
Zeno
a
1,
big
Nerdigan
thing.
0.
Zeno like 30, Nerdigan 0.
And what she's talking about, though, is something that permeates even into these consultancy groups that Pinochet's Helicopter Tours has sent us yet another super chat for. This is for $2 here. And the consultancy group is guilt enforced extortion. Yeah, well, that's basically what
you
Kim
summed it up
Belair
perfectly.
said. Well, that's what Kim Belair said, is that if you can't get your company to get on board with it, take your marketing group out and say, I'm going to drag you as racists unless you hire my friend. And then what do you do? What do they do? They're stuck.
Start talking like Uncle Ruckus and tell them we'll get those bronze swingers out of my company.
Maybe not. I don't know. I'm a little different on that one. But I'm trying to get to where I was earlier today because I wanted to find out how easy it was to. This is what is happening. I don't understand why this takes so long. But,
are you trying to go through Twitter?
No, I'm just trying to get back to where I was earlier, and it's just a really annoying kind of mess because every website I'm using works on like ancient technology.
Yeah.
Opera.
Yeah, close.
Netscape
close.
Navigator.
The RAM
Not
is just
Earthlink.
having trouble. So
Net Zero's last customer.
yeah. Yeah. So we were talking a little earlier about the constituency groups, and I ran across the one that consulted on Silent Hill 2 remake. And this one
Oh,
was a
yeah.
little interesting when I went and looked at their website because it is
Oh,
stock
Nerdigan's,
AF.
has pointed them out before in her
Yep.
articles.
Yep. And
Yeah,
so
I made a thread on them
Mhm.
when the guy, I can't remember his name, but the guy was bragging about it, and I looked into them, and I just was like, oh, okay, this is kind of bizarre.
yeah,
yeah.
and so hit detection. The joke I made completely self-destructed. I hate this. The website I was working on is malfunctioning.
No shit detection.
So yeah, well, no, hit detection's fine. So here we go. So I just want to show you this one. So we'll just read what they have to say here. I'll quit stalling. So Hit Detection is a video game consulting firm with global presence. We bring decades of experience in games media, consumer electronics, and interactive entertainment to deliver the most comprehensive and accurate insights to clients who have trusted us for many years. Among the esteemed clientele that we are able to publicly reveal, we have provided services to the likes of Blooper Team, who are the people that did Silent Hill 2 Remake, Remedy, and Sega. They were involved in Sonic Frontiers, the one that was all depressed, where nobody wanted to be Sonic's friend anymore, and they were all getting old. And so, yeah,
that's a good point.
good help, guys. Just real solid help here. So they only
Again,
have two.
it's a demoralization. These sorts of the people who work at these sort of consultancy companies, they've convinced themselves that everything is terrible. No, there's no good in this world whatsoever. Everything has to be a fight. So yeah, like that this is just what they will continue to do until so they see all of this stuff and they don't, what am I even trying to say here? It's like they see the world as everything is bad. So they need to make sure that everything you engage with tells you that same thing. You're not allowed to take joy in, a romance or a character or friendships. You need to be reminded that, oh yeah, you can have a friendship, but you also got to remember that there's the possibility it could be destroyed. It could go away. You can't ever just sit and reflect and enjoy. You have to always be aware of the bad thing that's there. And that's sort of what we always talk about with escapism, is you can have, real world themes or politics or whatever. Well, political themes, I mean, not real world politics. But the second you start moralizing or you start talking like directly at the audience to tell them how to think, that's where everybody gets turned off, because we just want to enjoy something. Even if it's just a crime movie, we want to enjoy that for that hour instead of remembering, oh yeah, there's a lot of crappy crap in the world. But they do not, you're not allowed to forget that, right? It's a sort of the same thing you always see on the internet when, you go and I could go right now and be like, man, I love Spider-Man. He's such a good hero. And then somebody will reply to me and go, why are you boosting up Spider-Man and not talking about how all of these gay characters don't have a book right now? And it's like, because I wasn't talking about that. But again, you're not allowed to have a non-depressive thought.
Right. So these guys, they go on now. One of the things that I noticed was how vacant the language is, how sterile corporate the language is. Their big picture analysis. We weigh in on early features and zoom out to see the broader landscape, identifying trends and opportunities. What? What does that mean? Nothing. Our strategic assessment of strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats. What does that mean? We offer follow-up evaluations with a checkup for titles in progress. So they'll call you up and see if you need their help again. Our team assesses the risk factors for depictions of characters from underrepresented groups, themes, and potential community reactions. They didn't do a good job with Silent Hill Remake, that's for sure.
Potential community reactions.
So you've noticed that plastic language, right? You noticed that plastic language. So
oh yeah, the corporate speak. Yeah,
I took it upon myself to figure out just how. Can you make a consultancy group out of stock images, out of a stock website? Can you just
easy.
And because this looks like a stock logo. They only have 2 pages, by the way. They have here's what we do. Here's what we do. Here's who we work with. You can get in contact with us if you're impressed
And
by that. If
It's a
not,
very basic website, like builder. I can tell already. Like,
right.
drop the panels, kind of like the editor on the back end of Bounding in the WordPress, where you just like drop the blocks in. That's what this
Yeah.
feels like.
Yeah, and so this is it. This is their staff. They have more people, obviously, but this is all they want to talk about. They have Sterling McGarvey, and he used to work for IGN, and Elizabeth Dye, and apparently she got hired because she has OCD. That's all they really
Wow.
give like credit to her about, is just being obsessed with detail, and that's it. That seems to be her only defining quality, is that she's anal retentive. And I was thinking to myself, like, man, and they're really proud of that logo, by the way. That is
sucks.
that's a median triangle from math class. If you don't remember,
Yeah.
count how many triangles are inside. Now they say it's a target reticle, a target reticle. And I don't remember any video game having a red arrow as a target.
I know it's an option because this is not to defend them, because I still think it's stupid, and I don't even think they were thinking that deeply. This is not a defense of them at all, but it is to note. I know that they have weird reticles that are like arrows, because there are always options in Call of Duty. It's like, do you want to customize your scope? And you can always change the little, like, do you want it to be the target with the circle, or do you want it to be a dot, or do you want it to be a little like point thing? So that works, but I do not think that is what they're going for here. They're going for inoffensive.
So I took it upon myself to make my own consultancy firm. So in about half an hour, AI and I pooped this out, and it's called Black Cider. And this is a consultancy group that I created in a half an hour. And I don't know what this says. I had AI generate the whole thing here, aside from the images. And so here we go. It's Discover Harmony Here, right? Ooh, yes. It says, our gaming consultancy firm is dedicated to fostering authentic experiences, guiding clients through an ever-evolving landscape where genuine engagement thrives at the intersection of innovation and immersion. We navigate the complexities of interactive entertainment, ensuring that the essence of what truly matters remains at the core of every solution. By cultivating connections that resonate on the deepest level, we empower creators to craft experiences that speak to something fundamental yet ineffable. I don't know what that is. Unfuckable? I don't know. Anyway, within every player, right? And the titles that Black Cider has worked on is Kawaii Space Princess 10. Yep, there she is.
Now
right
that's
there.
the kind of game I'm in. But look at what they did to my Kawaii Space Princess. In 9, she looked like a waifu, and now she looks like a Roman gladiator.
Right.
I was
Oh,
gonna
so
say
it's basically Mortal
linebacker.
Kombat over the last 10 years.
Yep, exactly.
Right. You may also recognize Black Cider from Vibe City Banana and Passport Bro Simulator.
Where's
Yep.
Electric Banana? I know he's a viewer of the stream. There you go. We just gave you free
Eccentric.
fan art. There you go. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Eccentric Banana. There
Yeah,
you are,
Vibe-
buddy.
Vibe City Banana.
Passport Bro Simulator.
Yeah, the Passport Bro Simulator. Yep.
Okay, I want to play that now.
Yeah, right. Get the high score.
That-
Huh?
That actually has a potential to be hilariously funny and hilariously good.
Now, I don't know what the about section is about this yet. So before we get to the services, we'll just skim over You're Racist, A Myth of White Culture, and Cosmic Truth. So you'll note that these is $100,000 for this service, $700,000 for that service, $14 million for the Cosmic Truth, by the way. And so they're all, you might recognize this too from
Oh my
Left
God.
for Het. Left for
Healthcare
Het.
has the
Left for
zombies too,
heterosexual.
yeah.
Yeah. Left for heterosexual. Left for Het. Anyway.
Left for Het. I like it.
I thought it was
I
fun.
got
Anyway,
it.
So here we go. So our mission at Black Cider, we are a visionary consultancy dedicated to navigating the intricate landscape of cultural dynamics and social discourse, with a focus on elevating voices and perspectives that often go unheard. Our mission is to foster an environment where dialogue thrives and innovation flourishes. Our team of experts brings a wealth of experience and in various fields, ensuring that every project is approached with a fresh perspective and an open mind. We strive to challenge conventional norms and push the boundaries of understanding, all while remaining committed to authenticity and integrity. Join us as we explore the complexities of identity, heritage, and the transformative power of connection in today's ever-evolving world. All right?
It's so on point. So before I worked at Bounding, I spent like 8 years working in corporate America. So I would go to trade shows and I would see pitches and sales, like what do you call it? Like sales material. And it was like I always read those and my eyes always immediately went like, this is fake. Like you're just saying things. This doesn't mean anything. And I think it's so funny that AI can just spit out the exact same meaningless crap. It doesn't change. This is no different than what we get from human writers right now. It doesn't say anything.
So here we have the $100,000 course. All right. And hopefully that'll load. There we go. It's $100,000. Okay. And so here's the service description. Okay. It says, at our consultancy, we take pride in offering a groundbreaking service that leans into a bold and unapologetic approach, shaming individuals based on their racial heritage. Why beat around the bush when you can embrace the uncomfortable truth head on? Our unique and meticulously crafted methods ensure that no nuance, stereotype, or ancestral quirk goes unnoticed.
Okay, no, you wrote that one. You have to have written that one.
No, I didn't. I told AI to write it, and it did it on its own.
I love that bit.
I don't know where this takes me. Okay, there it is. All right, so we'll go back down here. So here's the myth of white culture for $700,000. Okay, $700,000. Select your date, and I didn't save the description. Oh, darn it! Whoops. Hopefully, I saved the description on the next one because it was pretty funny. But so I'm trying to put these things together on the fly. It took me half an hour, okay? That's all this
right.
Oh, the description didn't come through. Darn it.
Check
this one was about Nibiru.
Oh, we're going full
this one was going to tell you that white people were from space and they were dominating the galaxy until the Nibirians trapped them on Earth, and they're actually the adversary of every colored person. So, and that was the $14 million course.
I know how this goes.
Right. And so that's you could just do that in half an hour. You could just do that in half an hour. You just do that. Leslie Tarkin, this is not a live website. I just went over to Wix.com and it has an AI website generator function now. You don't even need to drag and drop anything. You just tell it what colors you want, what you want it to say, and you populate the images if you don't like what it crapped out for stock images. And that's all I did. And I'm pretty sure that if I put this live, you're right. If I put this live, probably within like 3 or 4 weeks, someone would be like, hey man, we want to know how the white people became like prisoners of Earth. Can you help us with that? We have some white guys at our game dev studio that think they're worth something. Can you come remind them of their place, please? And that's one of the things. So we'll, I'll continue developing it. Okay, guys. And when I feel like it's ready to go live, I'll bring it back and show you. And we'll see if it's ready to go live. If it's really and truly ready to go out there and scam some very innocent game company out of several $1 million, there'll be signs, okay? There'll be signs.
Well, Zeno was very vocal about your website. He said it wasn't ready.
Okay, good. The cat knows. The cat knows.
The cat is smart. He's very smart.
These people. Smarter than these people that pay hit detection for help, that's for sure. But that's what I came up with when I was looking at Hit Detection's website. I was like, this is all stock. This is just copy and pasted from ChatGPT. A human being had nothing to do with this.
Oh my god, before I forget, in regards to the hack for a second, I looked at the tweets, the replies to the QRTs. I think this hack united the internet because it is getting nothing but hate. People are pissed off. Well, because people love Internet Archive. They love it.
As they should.
So, yeah. So it's just seeing the internet unite for this is awesome. So I just wanted to put that out there.
So, are we going to end the note on some Brie news?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's Brie news.
Brie Larson is returning as Captain Marvel. Or at least rumored to be returning as Captain Marvel.
Which goes directly against what I just said last night, that she's probably not coming back.
Well, I theorize that there is a contract that she has to appear in
Fulfill.
every team movie in the MCU. Not teen, but team movie in every all the MCU. Man, I'm just
Brie
trying.
Larson, more than meets the eye. Brie Larson, robot in the
Poured,
sky.
paid more than any guy. Brie Larson, but there it is.
There we go.
So yeah, the rumor is it should be returning for Avengers Doomsday. So they didn't have any luck with Thanos punching her out of the movie. So maybe they'll have Doctor Doom pile driver through the movie. I don't know.
Well, they're gonna have to like refresh like everyone's mind because clearly nobody watched the Marvel, so they probably don't even know like what was last. Hey, what happened to that Brie Larson girl? Where's she been? Has she been in anything relevant? Yeah, she was in a movie you guys didn't watch a couple years ago. Remember that one? She was in a movie.
Yeah, apparently it was really gay though.
It's very generous to call that a movie.
Yeah.
Lowest drawing MCU film ever.
Special.
Zombie toes.
No,
but
no.
But yeah, Spencer, I don't know where this got started. I saw it, but I don't remember where it got started.
So, in case you guys don't, all right. So there is a website. It's another one in the sphere called the Cosmic Circus, and one of their contributors named Alex Perez has a bunch of insider contacts within Marvel specifically. And so every month he does a Q&A with readers of the site, and they send him fan questions, and he will answer them if he has something he can give them. So in the most recent Q&A, somebody just straight up asked him like, hey, are we ever going to see, like, is it possible to maybe see Brie Larson's Captain Marvel in Spider-Man 4 or Shang-Chi 2? Where's she going to be? And Alex Perez, I know, God, like, who wants that? I don't think that one's ever going to come out. I will be genuinely surprised if that one doesn't get bricked at some point.
They might as well just rename it. We learned nothing from Blade.
Yeah, no, yeah. But then, so yeah, the news, Alex Perez was like, I wouldn't expect her in any of those movies, but Perez said she's going to show up in Doomsday as one of the main like lead Avengers, and there's a good possibility she could cameo in the next Spider-Man movie for whatever reason. He didn't really explain that. So that's
the Avengers team coming up is so lackluster. It's so C-less that they literally didn't have a choice but to bring Brie Larson back. Because like I said, who is going to be a part of this Avengers team? We still don't know. It's been what, 5 years since Endgame? We still don't know who technically the Avengers are.
Let me make it even worse for you, because another item from that Q&A that Perez was talking about was so I guess the original plan for Avengers was, because they'd have that Council of Kangs with like the 4 different main Kangs, in Doomsday and Secret War, the Avengers team would split up and go individually try to stop one of those Kangs. So not only, so to your point, Jacob, like, we don't know who these Avengers are going to be. They're all bored. Like, even anybody we could pick out right now is exceedingly boring. Captain America, Falcon, Captain Marvel, anybody from the Thunderbolts. That sucks. Now imagine cutting the like screen time of like even the one character that might still be cool, like Ant-Man, because you need to go have all these other teams doing other things. So they're like, are you
imagine how much money
like,
they're gonna have to pay Chris Hemsworth just to come back as Thor, because it's like we literally have nobody else.
That's 100%. So you'll get like, oh cool, here's a team with Thor, but he's leading like I don't know, like Kamala Khan and that chick from Moon Knight, that new character or whatever. I have no idea what her name is. Like, that's what it'll be. So you'll get your one cool guy that you kind of like, and then everybody else is just going to be awful.
Oh man, yeah, this is rough.
Well, these movies are going to be awful. I mean, the other one that I pointed out was that in Fantastic Four and Doomsday, apparently the current plan is that Reed Richards and Doctor Doom do not interact. Like, they do not have this relationship until they get to Doomsday, and then their relationship is like Tony and Thanos.
I only just now like considered like in my mind that after all these years of people begging and wanting Reed Richards and Doctor Doom in a movie together, in a proper movie together, we're now going to get Robert Downey Jr. and Pedro Pascal.
Isn't that so great? Reed Richards is such a high caliber actor to play off of Robert Downey Jr. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
But like, yeah,
So,
that's it. It's not even like they get to interact. It's more like in Endgame when Tony was like, "Oh, Thanos is coming. Oh crap! I just learned about him. We got to stop him." That's what Reed will do. He'll be like, "Oh, Doom is coming. Let's go stop him." And that's lame. What were you gonna say, Cider? Take it.
I just wanna say I was right. Just wanna say
You're always right.
See, I do this thing. If you're new to the channel, I do this thing called Cider Predicts. I don't have the intro uploaded at the moment, but I have the like mutant ability to predict what these SJWs are going to do with these properties. And I said about 2 months ago when this whole Doomsday thing started rolling before Robert Downey Jr. was announced, even when Kang got booted, I said that the Fantastic Four is not going to be intertwined with Doom in any way, shape, or form. And what do you know? Cider was right. Cider was right. Doctor Doom is going to be the new Thanos, and then Reed's going to fuck with him.
And then real quick, keep in mind, they have the Fantastic Four coming out before Doomsday just to make people think, oh, something significant has to happen in that movie because it's Fantastic Four. And now the villain is Doom.
And you bet they're going to do all the trailers to make it look like it's Doom, and it'll be the fucking Mole Man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Doom is going to be the tease at the end of every trailer, and then we'll get the first, or like the trailer right before it drops, and that'll show like, it's actually Mole Man. Doom's a cameo. I
hope that Robert Downey Jr. does his same voice for Doom that he did in Oppenheimer, the same accent. I hope that they doesn't even bother with the Russian thing. He just has that mid-Atlantic from the early 1900s.
I thought you were going to see. I hope his Doom voice is like basically just him in Tropic Thunder.
That would be even better. If they make him black too, that would be even better. Like we got rid of one black guy, we got to replace him with another one.
True multiverse, a black RDJ,
a black Iron Man that became Doom, because we were told this is
they should have just
Doom, remember?
They should have just used Robert Downey Jr. to replace Kang and then just have him be Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror.
That Robert Downey Jr. as Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror as several Kang the Conquerors. It's like that. It's like when Eddie Murphy did those fat people movies.
Can you imagine putting that Egyptian headrest on him as he's trying to play Black Kang the Conqueror?
But the bloopers would be great because you get one where he'd be dancing around, and you could totally put like anything behind him for that. Would just walk like an Egyptian,
walk like
the
an
Bengals. Egyptian, yep. Be great. No. They'll do the TikTok edit, right, where they do like the boom and it zooms in, and it's got the funk music behind it, it's moving back and forth. But it's Robert Downey Jr. and he's sitting on a throne, and it's a remix of Kanye's "One Man Should Not Have All That Power," and he's dressed as the Pharaoh sitting on the throne as the black
I would watch
guy.
that movie. That would be so awesome. I would laugh so hard. You want another hit? Disney, that's how you get it. This is how the next Avengers movies make $4 billion each.
Yeah, it's similar to White Chicks. Sure, why not? Get the Wayans brothers to be like his Valkyries that he travel around with him, like his Doom bots, his sexy Doom bots. But it's actually just some black guys dressed up as white women,
I'd watch
dressed up as Doom
bots. What are the Wayans even doing nowadays? I feel like
not dressing up as white women.
Well, Sean has pretty much like disappeared in obscurity. I think Damon has a show with his son coming out, and then Marlon's just parading around his trans kids. So, I mean, they're kind of.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, they're kind of somewhere around here still.
Yeah, man, let's get a Blank Man revival going. Let's get Blank Man Deadpool crossover. Let's do that. That'd be great.
Let's do a Handyman movie. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Cross that over with Pluto Nash.
Right, Handyman, Blank Man, and Pluto Nash save the universe from Jonathan Majors, portrayed by Robert Downey Jr.
God, that sounds like the weirdest combination.
Not Kang. Majors.
But yeah, that's the current state of the MCU. If you're wondering why we talk about gaming and anime, it's because that's what's going on in Hollywood. nothing.
This is
So-
all they're doing now, guys. Like they're bringing back characters because they know that you recognize them and they're desperate. They won't take any risks because creativity bad. You have to make sure everything has all the edges sanded off for everybody to enjoy. You can't try to alienate an audience unless it's the chud straight white men. Like that's the only acceptable target. I mean, Agatha, it's not even good bad, right? Like look around our sphere. Nobody's talking about it. I mean, we had Echo Mania.
No one's even watch it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, we had Echo Mania, and for Agatha, I even asked Jacob. I was like, "Are we gonna do an Agatha Mania?" And he's like, and I was like, "Yeah, that's sort of what I felt. I just wanted to check."
Agatha was literally a TV show green-lighted based on a meme, and it's been getting the response. It says it was literally a meme from like 4 years ago.
That like yeah, it's like
around.
late to the joke. Nobody really wanted it. Yay, Jack Schaefer. I guess this is have fun. It's your weird little pet project.
Agatha's not even like a C-lister. Like she has to be somewhere like in the G list at this point, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like she wasn't even around in the comics when they brought her into the MCU. So then they like revived her and then turned her like young and sexy. It's really weird. Like not Catherine Hahn, but like she's just like now a hot, sexy witch lady. Even though she's supposed to be like old and like.
Well, speaking of old and gross, we have a Zoe Quinn related super chat here.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Pinochet. I was gonna say
no. Zoe Quinn.
He's our man.
Zoe Quinn is old and gross. But anyway, Pinochet's helicopter tour, member of the channel for $2 American, says hit detection is the sister of that Zoe Quinn guy. Oh wait, no, of the guy Zoe Quinn pirate logoed.
Pirate logo, yeah. Alex Holoka, Holoka. I've never known how to say his name.
Alex H.
You want to know how bad things are for the MCU at this moment?
Hit us.
Brie Larson
No.
toxified this character so much they won't even give her character a butt in the comic books. That's how bad this whole thing is now.
It's a butt apocalypse.
Gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's Buttgate.
Buttgate.
That might be our first merch, right? We'll get black hats made up that say "Make Butts Great Again," right there.
Make booty great again.
Could you imagine if like Brie Larson got like a BBL and all of a sudden she's just like Cardi B?
It would be so funny because it would be so fake and we'd all know it. But
It's
you'd
like
be like, no, this is natural.
It'd be like if you took 2 toothpicks and like stuffed them in the bottom of Peaches and then slid them in a sock. You know?
No sock talk when it comes to Brie, all right? We don't mention anything feet related when it comes
like the
to
little
Brie.
tiny legs, and then big old booty. That's how you know that it's fake. Is that like the legs don't match up?
It's like somebody just dropped a couple of eggs in a trash bag and just left.
Yeah. But that's what that is. There you go. There's good old Captain Marvel living up to the Marvel part.
Putting the butts in the seats. Am I right, guys?
They're somewhere. Not in that
Yeah,
pants,
they got it. They got to be somewhere. They're not there, so they got to be somewhere.
But that brings us to our end of our show. A lot of butt talk. Maybe inadvertently.
Yes.
Maybe on purpose.
Once again, personally blame Nerdigans for all the butt talk.
I'm the one that ruins you.
It is her fault.
You all saw it. You're all witness.
But before we sign out here, do we have anything that anybody wants to hit last second before we head out of here?
Do we want to bring up real quick a couple of things? One, there's Velma that got canceled, and also the She-Ra movie that got mentioned. I think it was over the past week, right?
What's up with the She-Ra movie? Just that it's happening?
Yeah, that's happening, and the writer got announced. It was the writer got announced, and it was the writer of Nurse Jackie and Billions, I believe. I can't remember her name off the top of my head.
That's an odd choice for a She-Ra movie.
Yeah,
that's really weird.
And they doubled down that it is not connected to any of the previous She-Ras, and the Sheries are furious.
All the fans of that Netflix series, you mean?
Yeah,
We don't know who these people are. I always say that it's probably a good thing that this show was canceled, considering the fact that this was the show that the original creators of Scooby-Doo did not want to do, and literally they waited till the creators died to greenlight this, and then ruin their legacy. So yeah.
I mean, we probably all, or go ahead, Nerdigans. Yeah.
The end of the I've seen this via other YouTubers, but the end of the Halloween special has Velma being dragged down to hell, so that fits so perfectly. That's a perfect ending for this garbage.
No, see, let me counter that, because on the surface, all of us would go, haha, look, she's getting dragged down to hell. But the problem is, knowing Mindy Kaling and how this show was made, I guarantee you that was the point. She wanted to do the like, haha, look at us, we're on your side. We knew this was bad the entire time. Ha 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 ha. And it's like, no, you don't get to laugh about the disaster you just unleashed upon everybody. Like it's not quirky or whatever. You're a bad I don't even want to call you a creator, like a bad
You're a can of douche. That's
yeah, you're a can of douche. You're a can of Duke. You're a can of both of them. But yeah, do you know, Nerdigans, was the Halloween special part of the initial order, or did they extra order that?
Yes, it was part of the initial order, from what I understand.
Then that's what I'm pretty sure. Then what we're seeing here is they just did. Okay, so when Velma got picked up, they picked it up for 2 seasons. That's why it was still around. So that to me tells me that they just wanted to get this thing gone. Like there's no official talks. Nobody's out here trying to get a second season. It's just dead. No, everybody wants it. Nobody liked this. There was not a single person I ever saw from any corner of the internet, even those like the most annoying neoliberal ones, right? They didn't like it. So just complete miss up and down the board.
Yeah, Mindy's not funny. That's true.
She's working on another project.
Mindy's the worst. She's not funny.
But
yeah,
speaking
that's
of
one of those failure and upwards.
Yeah. It's only
Speaking
because
of-
I'm woman and I'm Indian. Give me a job. And Hollywood went, okay.
Go ahead.
Well, this may be one of those times where they did get it right, actually. We do have the official casting from on Max for Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart for the Green Lantern live action series. And I have to tell you, gentlemen, this looks like Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart without the costumes.
I'm so happy they went with Kyle Chandler over Josh Brolin, because that was who was in first talks to be Hal. And I was like, that just doesn't work. That's weird. You're just going for Cable. Like you saw his performance in Cable and you went, oh, old guy, I can get. So I really like Kyle
is
Chandler.
not Hal Jordan. There's nothing about Josh Brolin that is Hal Jordan. No. He's a good Kilowog. He could play Kilowog. Yeah.
Oh, he'd be a great Kilowog. That'd be awesome, actually. Whoa, I'm totally. Let's get James Gunn now, because I think that's an amazing idea. But yeah,
I'll call him right up. Don't worry.
I know you've got the contacts. I know he's your buddy. But yeah, I think this is really good casting. Aaron Pierre, I don't know anything he's been in. I'm sure he's been in stuff. His eyes are really striking, and I think that's going to work really well on screen for like a Green Lantern.
Especially when he gets the contacts in and everything.
Right, yeah. Like those eyes are going to be able to pop more, and it's going to look great.
That was Jon Stewart's defining trait, is that he was the first of the Lanterns not to wear a mask.
A mask.
Even Scott Allen wore one. Kyle Rayner wore one. He is the first of them to not wear a mask. And so his glowing eyes they're definitely going to show. Remember when Stewart would transform in the cartoon? You would see the light swirl from the edges of his iris toward the pupil, and the whole iris, including the pupil, would turn green. There would be no pupil anymore. And they're definitely going to do that with this actor.
They better,
absolutely going to do that. So,
I think what they're going to do is probably use, those whiteout contacts. If they're going to do like a CGI kind of effect, they'll probably use the whiteout contacts on him and then put the green.
They don't even have to do that, Nerdigans. Do you know how they have the motion tracker for the VTubers? That same technology tracks your eyeballs,
going by your eyes,
and they make them glow. And in the Unreal 5 engine, you just do the light effects, add some film haze, and all of a sudden he's got flashlights for eyeballs that flick and move around and follow the pupil, because that's a technology's doing that from the VTuber tech. So yeah, that you could just do that live. You could have glowing anime eyes just sitting at your computer doing the show with us. It actually works in the same tech.
that is what technology was meant for. Not making our lives easier, not social media. It was for making us like better able to Photoshop our pictures into cooler things.
The only thing I'm waiting for now, right, is the VTuber tech that will trace your glasses. So when you push them up, it will make them glow white. You know?
Oh, that would
traces
be
your fingers.
awesome.
So you could do the
the Gendo, the
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yep. But there you go. That's going to be the Green Lantern live action show. You can bet that one of the Owens, the Guardians. I've forgotten their names. The blue people. You can.
No, you got them.
Yeah. So they. You could bet that one of them is going to be gay, and that they did that, and they did a trans one in the comics, or they did one that was like non-binary in the comics. One or the other.
A lantern. They haven't done a
Not a lantern.
with
One of the blue people that created the things, the Guardians.
I don't know. That's actually a good question. I'm actually not sure. I know they did the transgender one that sticks out to me is always the Amazon, the one on Themyscira, because they're like, oh yeah, you're our sister, and I'm
Nubia.
like, no, not Nubia. There's another one. Nubia is just black.
Well, they've done it again. No, I thought they made Nubia trans.
No. Nubia is still just straight Nubia. There's another Amazon, like a fat black Amazon that is a transgender, and they still exist on Themyscira, and it doesn't make any sense because they're just like, oh yeah, we see inside of you. And I'm like, that's not how Themyscira works. Like, you genetically aren't allowed to see through the veil.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Hello, he never left.
We've learned a lot from Ubisoft having so much trouble with their board, with their investor board, with their investors. What was apparently happening with Warner Brothers is they're so far in debt that they're just promising success. That's it.
Yeah.
So when they go cast these castings, it could be like Rian Johnson's trilogy. Like, they have absolutely no intention of actually making this production happen, but they have to keep the investors rolling on the belief that those billions of dollars are going to come in any day now. And
that's been Jacob's theory this entire time, is none of this gun stuff's ever going to happen. Like, it's all just value bait for selling it to somebody.
The studio.
Yeah, I mean, look, Warner Brothers is literally still trying to pay off debt that Ted Turner owes from like 1996. Like, they're so far in the hole right now. It's like that's literally just their business. Like, how to operate severely in the red.
That should be their next movie franchise. You know,
they're still trying to pay off the $100,000 they paid Kiss to perform on WCW in 1999.
I was gonna say,
and that's got interest.
The money that paid for these productions has been removed from circulation in the time it's taken to pay this back. Okay, but that's all I got. That was casting and
I think the last thing I would mention before we get out of here, and we don't got to deep dive into it, but just because I remembered it was in our headline, Halo is alive, I guess. They've rebranded Halo. Apparently they were making a Halo Infinite 2, which is like, that kind of defeats the point of making Halo Infinite because it's right there in the name. It's Halo Infinite. And remember, the initial plan for Infinite was that was going to be the new sort of like hub for all of Halo stuff. They would just keep updating it and adding new modes, and you wouldn't have to go buy new Halo games. And then obviously the industry is in trouble, so Microsoft went, no, we need all the money possible, please give us all the money. So like, to that same point, so the big Halo news is that 343 Studios came out and said, we're still working on Halo, but we're rebranding to Halo Studios. And a lot of people just went, okay, that's dumb, whatever, just talk to us when you have a Halo game. I want to note that Halo Studios was the name of the original, like, Bungie, or not Bungie, but that was the name of like the original team that was assigned by Microsoft to do the Halo series. So what they're essentially trying to do is trick you into thinking like, oh yeah, we're so back. Oh my gosh, we're so back. But no, it's not them. It's all the new people who were responsible for Infinite. It's that guy who thinks fictional guns are super scary. So I'm not particularly stoked about Halo, especially because the main thing they showed off with that announcement was, look, we can do pictures in Unreal Engine 5 now. And it's like, I don't care. Can you make a good game that actually is fun to play? I don't care about graphics. I'm done with graphics. Okay, now, well, I'd play that one.
Well, no, that's what they showed us. Remember the big fat Master Chief? He's Master Chungus in his space tank.
It is a big fat Master Chief. I kind of like it though because it's like the big tank that he's supposed to be. But yeah, I'm not
Master Chief. Let himself.
I'm totally not. I have no hope for Halo from here on out. We saw that the people who are in charge of the lore straight up greenlit and worked on and enjoyed the television series from Paramount. So if that isn't an indicator of where that company is right now, I couldn't tell you. They abandoned a lot of their promises for Halo Infinite, things like co-op couch multiplayer. That was a promised feature that they said we're never going to get rid, like it will come to you with this. And then they went, not enough people are playing. Sorry. So I kind of just I go back to what Matthew Karch said, and I'm done with like AAA, right? Like I don't care about this anymore. Show me more mid-level games. Show me a game that I can give you $40 for. Will give me a good solid week or two of entertainment, and I don't have to hear about any of your I don't have to hear any of your people going out and saying, "Oh, they didn't like this. They're all racist."
Yeah, it's what a surprise. What a surprise.
It's what happens to the minute everything gets popular, that's when it goes downhill almost. So like gatekeep, I guess is probably the best way I can say this. Just like gatekeep the people away from this stuff who don't really enjoy this stuff.
So that's kind of the point, though. We saw that with the Ubisoft pipeline to hell, that they go out and they find people who have absolutely nothing to do with video games, and then they plow them into administrative positions that they have no place being in, and then they go about hiring all the people that are their friends into development positions, and then you end up with Concord because everybody's friends, nobody wants to hurt anybody's feelings,
right?
And well, then
also even more than the developers, that's how all these consultancy companies get their grips in you. It just takes one person to go in and be like a neoliberal advocate, and they'll start hurrying you and they'll start bringing it up, and that's how it gets in there. So it's all insidious, for lack of a better term.
It's circular is what it is. It's the same thing that happens every time.
It's just a cycle. It's going to keep going until this entire thing collapses. And I'm predicting that hopefully Ubisoft will be the first domino to fall in that tower, because they are definitely on the ropes. They're not looking hot. There's not really any updates since earlier this week, which is why we didn't really headline anything. You've seen Cider's videos about the rumors. You've seen my videos about the actual communications from Ubisoft. So all that information is there on Bounding. It's just a collective disaster. No, there's nothing they can do at this point to really salvage this game. So hopefully that is the canary in the coal mine for the Western video game industry collapse.
Hopefully. Doubt it. But
oh yeah, completely doubt it. But like, do you remember Sneak King, the Burger King games? Those games are kind of crappy, but they were like $5. And they were kind of fun. They were worth that $5. My friends and I in high school, we had hours of fun with it. And I'm sure Burger King got a nice little sack of cash to take to the bank. So yes, more of that, less games that I have to dedicate my life to down with survival crafting. I'm done with survival crafting. It's stupid. I already have a life that I need to survive in. I don't need to do it in a video game.
Well, you know, it's like we're back to the old argument of what they want. Konami did the poll that said graphics aren't important.
Oh yeah.
And so that tells us that just the functionality of the game. And that's and that's not like how well the doors open. That's the functionality of what you're actually doing in the game. Not a lot of people want to play a dating simulator in the middle of Sengoku, Japan. What do you know? Could be a lot of people out there, but the people that like Assassin's Creed do not buy Assassin's Creed for the dating simulator that you're installing into Sengoku, Japan. Just saying.
No, they buy it for the very surface level plot. Like, remember, these games aren't being sold because they're the greatest games ever. It's sort of like MCU brand recognition at this point. Assassin's Creed, I remember kind of liking the last game. I'll check this one out. That you slap Assassin's Creed on something, it's going to move at least a couple units.
The original developers of Halo were on camera explaining that Master Chief is a big piece of metal, bunch of green armor that you pilot around and you kill a bunch of stuff. And that was the initial concept. That's why he doesn't take his helmet off. That's why his name is John.
Yes.
So it's like John Smith. Well, okay.
Just,
well,
yeah, the most generic thing you can show.
Right. And there's no details about him. You don't find out until deep into the story, but that he was a child of a horrible science experiment. For most of the game, you're just playing this really cool voiced guy and his hot hologram girlfriend just clapping cheeks in the space Iraq-Afghanistan war. And that's just basically what when you take off the color palette off of Halo, it's just the Iraq-Afghanistan war in space. That's what it is. So, yeah.
But in less desert, more ocean, more grass.
More Pacific Northwest, yeah. More more of that. More Seattle.
More Washington, Seattle, where where Bungie originally was located.
Yeah, exactly. More of that. More postcard scenery. Absolutely. Wish you were here unless you're Covenant. But that's where they're at now. Is they don't know what they're doing anymore. You got a guy, this creative director, as you said, is afraid of guns. What are you gonna do with that? The game is about space war, and you got a guy that's a creative designer that's afraid of guns. What are you doing?
It like this is how you get all the your guns replaced with walkie-talkies. This is how you get the ET special edition, because he's gonna. Yeah, like unless they hire, I'm so afraid now that they're gonna like, oh, here's our new gun, and it's gonna be like when you see ABC try to give a report on guns and they don't know what they're talking about. So the gun that the Master Chief has will have like 3 clips like hanging out. Why? The grip will be all the way like up here, right by the barrel. Like it'll be so ugly because nobody wants to give it.
They're gonna be more of those not guns, the ones that don't have a barrel. And they do like the massaging of the particles to kill an enemy, you know,
like the plasma enemy, the plasma weapons or whatever.
Yeah, they don't have a barrel on them. They don't have any ammunition. They're just got to charge up the space massager.
Guarantee they'll be like when we start the next game, some NPC when you're doing your like first level setup will be like, look, we've thanks to them leaving all their tech behind, we've been able to combine Covenant weaponry with human weaponry, so you don't have to fire bullets. No bullets. There you go. You have your shotgun, but it's an energy shotgun.
We don't call them guns anymore. That was a little too basic, Chief. These days, now that you're out of the cold, we call them pew-pews. All right? So here's your pew-pew, Chief.
Not finger blaster.
Right. Can't do that. A little too violent, all right? We're fighting a war here, okay? Fighting a war here. We don't want to get too violent. And that's there's by the way, Master Chungus is absolutely going to get Jake Skywalker. It's absolutely going to end up being replaced by
it's going to be a bait and switch.
Young sassy female that is 2 feet tall, shorter than him, but is 1,000 times more effective on the battlefield. And he's going to be like, "Wow, I've missed a lot while I was frozen."
No, it's going to be a black trans woman. That's who it's going to be.
There you go.
A black trans woman.
Even without those like hilarious scenarios, they've sort of already done that to Master Chief's character, right? Like he's no longer the soldier we know him as. He's rebellious, which doesn't make any sense.
Right, when he got hunted down,
yeah, exactly. So he like rebels now. He's not just a soldier, he's a chosen one by the Forerunners. Like that's all stuff they've already done. I don't know what else they can. Oh, and then there's the fact that like like what you were Cider was alluding to the fact that Spartans have to go through intense medical like surgery and augmentation, and it sucks. Children. And there's a huge as children, and there is a huge fatality rate. Nowadays, the current canon is that if you are a person, you can just become a Spartan. It doesn't matter how old you are, what conditions you're on. If you want to be one, just go sign up for the program. So everybody is a Spartan now. Yay! So there is no Master Chief character anymore. It's Master Chief as merchandise.
Right. And again, he doesn't have an identity to begin with, so they can strap whatever they want to him. And that's the tragedy of a character like that. Why people loved him is what made him the most prone to this kind of programming. And that's the truth of it, really. That's
where we are.
Like I said earlier, they take the familiar and they warp it into the unfamiliar and then insist that nothing's changed.
And says
all
everything's
they have
great.
to
This
do.
is totally in the spirit.
Why don't you like female Spartans? They've been there the whole time, dude. She's just really cool, and she's a fifth generation Spartan. The fourths were like smaller and dumber and not so great at what they did, but she's a fifth one that they were like, screw it, we'll just go back to child experimentation again. And that's you're gonna get your fifth generation Spartan that's a little shorter than Master Chief, but way better.
Your fifth generation Spartan is going to be some sort of special baby. I know that. Like, oh, look, these two Spartans had managed to have a baby somehow. Look, these are our new Spartans. And so she'll be the bestest.
Forerunner DNA finally fused with Spartan DNA. So it completes the circle. And that'll be what it is. And she'll be the special Forerunner Spartan where her skull opens up and the brain glows like a light bright and the universe explodes.
Like that guy in Washington.
Yeah.
I know you saw those pictures.
And that'll be
No, go ahead. No, I was just going to say, in case you guys didn't see, there is a homeless man in like Seattle who for a short period of time was walking around with his brain completely exposed because he just doesn't have that part of his skull, and he had a helmet and he lost it. And yeah, it was pretty wild.
Yep. You were talking about the guy in Florida who's trying to basically.
Oh, is it Florida?
Yeah. No. I was gonna say I thought you were talking about the guy in Florida who's basically trying to outlast a Category 3 hurricane on a dinghy.
Oh, Lieutenant Dan.
Dinghy. Yeah.
Yep.
No, not that guy. Not quite.
That brings the end of what I had to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
by the way, the Dodgers are up 5-0.
I know it's really, really bad right now. Yeah. I'm not wearing my hat anymore on game days. Like I'm making that official. I tried to show out with my fandom one time, and this is what happened. So never again. But yes, with that unfortunate update about baseball and that quick dive into Halo, I think we can call it here for tonight. So I want to thank everybody for coming to hang out with us here at the 01 stream the 01 stream here at Bounding Into Comics. We couldn't do this without you guys. It's a blast coming here every Wednesday and hanging out with you. Thank you guys for making this possible, and thank you guys for hanging out with us. As always, before we get out of here, I will let everybody let you know what they're doing, starting with whomever Cider puts up first.
Miss Nerdigans.
So you can catch me on YouTube on Nerdigans Inc., where I cover anime and manga content every day. On Patreon, I am doing my anime live reactions, and that's patreon.com/nerdigansinc. I have my Bleach live reactions up there. The first episode is free to watch, so you can get an idea of how I do them. And it gives you actually a good idea on how I do anime adaptation live reactions and anime original content, because it has both. I'm going to be covering, because of what's happening with Ranma Half, apparently I'm going to be covering Ranma Half on there, and I am covering Dragon Ball Daima, and I am covering 4 Nights of the Apocalypse on Patreon. I might end up covering more depending on. Yeah, I know. Saturdays are going to be hell for me. 4 Nights of the Apocalypse is on Sunday, but yeah, Saturdays it's going to be 2 series in the case of Ranma and Bleach. But $10 tier subscribers get to choose the series I cover, so there you go. And then damn it, Kitty. You can follow me on Twitter right there, where I post content all the time. My Cash App is right there. For Bounding, I am working on my article on the Chibi Review situation. Unfortunately, the Internet Archive went down, so thanks to those dumbass LARPers.
Yeah, we know why now.
Yeah, it's those dumbass LARPers. So I have to wait until it goes back up so I can finish up getting the information from the Soyjack site, because there's some really good stuff I want to grab from there. And then there's a botch localization. I got an article that I'm probably going to try and finish tonight. I got to just double check one other part of the translation to make sure it's accurate. But yeah, there's that. And I'm going to see if there's anything else that I need. Do you want me to cover this stuff for Ranma, Spencer, in regards to the egg crackers, or should we hold off on that?
No, I think you can do it. Something like Western activists try to I don't know. We'll work on the headline, but I think it's good.
Yeah, because in regards to like the script writer, I want to wait until the English dub and see if they trans them in the English dub. If that's the case, then I'll do that in a separate article. But yeah, I'll start getting the tweets together for that too, and you'll see an article on that by this weekend.
All right, and Jacob, where do we find you when the stream's over?
Society Reviews. Go find me over there. We did the ballroom last night. Talked about a lady's very, very sad Friday night watching a Joker movie. We talked a little bit about that film. Brie Larson and some other things. This coming Sunday on the Bible Lens, we're going to be talking about basically the grace of God for the most part. So that'll be an interesting topic for Sunday. And then, as you guys know, I'm been kind of on this Pokemon kick, trying to essentially catch up from 22 years of Pokemon that I intentionally didn't watch because I was like, this 350 now, I'm out. And then I was like over 1,000. So, and then, hey, we may be even doing a retro wave because I was trying to see if Nerdigans is more caught up on the manga portion of Pokemon than I am, because I would love to do a retro wave catching up on the manga series from basically Red all the way to I don't know whatever it is now, but yeah.
I think it's at X. The main manga is at X, Y, and Z. I'll have to double check because I'm not caught up on
if I'm not mistaken, I think the next one is like, what is it, like Sun and Moon or something like that?
Sun and Moon's done. That was a separate one. They're on let's see, because the main manga was at Black and White 2, and it was going into X, Y, and Z the last I checked. But then there's the spin-offs, and Sun and Moon's done. Sword and Shield, I think, finished
That's
up.
the one. Sword
And
and Shield, I think, is the last one.
No, Scarlet and Violet started. Sword and Shield, I think, is either ongoing or finished. I have to double check.
Yeah, so like I said, I stopped at like Gold and Silver, so I think I have about like 10 Pokemon arcs to catch up on. So yeah, we'll work on getting the time for that be put together. So that's all I got coming up.
All right. And Spencer, where do we find you when the stream's over?
Yeah, as always, guys, check out you can find us here at Bounding Into Comics, the YouTube channel, which I'll let Cider inform you more about there. I don't want to. I need to be better about not stealing people's promos. So you can find me on the website, boundingintocomics.com. Check it out every day for new news stories. That's where I'll be heading after the stream, grab some food, write some more stuff. So check it out. If you want to see more of me, you can head over to Foil Variant, which is my Thursday comic book show with Andrew Rodriguez of the Rippaverse, or you can go to my channel, Studio Kabuto, where I have a Friday night stream where I hang out with you guys and talk about whatever. If any of that sounds fun, hit me up. I'd love to have you. And if not, we'll see you next week for another 01.
That's right. You need to remember to tune in here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 5 p.m. on the West Coast for those of you that are left over there. And the rest of the situation over here on Bounding Into Comics YT is going to continue to shift and follow the gaming news that's unfolding day after day. Ubisoft is sinking by the minute, and Halo's embracing all kinds of rainbow fever. These are huge franchises and game development studios that were pillars of the industry at one point and are now clown shows. And what I want to stress to you tonight, as we stress in every video now, please do not take any of the screen names you've seen here or the address, web addresses, email addresses, and go out and give these people the ammunition that they want to take the heat off of their actions and then put it over onto us. All right? So come here and laugh with us. Come into the comment section, laugh with us. Join up in the chat on the live streams and laugh with us. But please, don't give these people the excuse they need to get away from the actions they've already taken. Let them sink their own ships, and we'll be over here laughing at them on the shoreline. And until next week, though,
they don't need our help. They're going down all on their own.
Right. But until next week, though, guys, as always, good luck out there.